Answered a few easy health questions.
That's impressive, but I'm shocked you have life insurance.
But you don't? Come on, man, you have a wife and kids. What if something happens to you? Trust me, or better yet, check out some of their reviews. Ethos is A+ rated on the BBB and excellent on Trustpilot. Once you sign up, they can start your coverage the same day with policies as low as $1 a day.
Wow, I'm sold. I'm signing up right now.
Ethos, a fast and easy online experience. Policies for every budget and up to $2 million in term coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Get your free quote at applyethos.com. E for easy, E for ethos. At applyethos.com. That's applyethos.com.
The NBA season is over, but baseball is in full swing on Sleeper. Sleeper Picks is a fantasy game, but you can win real money. Just pick more or less on at least 2 of your favorite players' stats, like Shohei Ohtani's total bases and Paul Skeens' strikeouts. If you're right, you win. Sleeper offers weekly discounts on picks, so you can get an edge with your lineup. And they even added new stats, like pitcher outs and no-run first inning, so you have more options than ever to win some cash. If you're new to Sleeper, they'll even match your first deposit up to $100. Just download the Sleeper app and use promo code BUZZER, and your first deposit will be doubled up to $100. So what are you waiting for? Download Sleeper today and unlock one of the fastest growing fantasy sports apps in the world. And don't forget to use code BUZZER for up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's promo code BUZZER. Must be 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of the world, and now giving that proud title a deeper meaning. With the PGA Tour on board, we now represent the height and heart of competition at every level. For buddies trips, Myrtle Beach Golf creates priceless memories by the thousands each year. And in Myrtle Beach, kids play free, bringing new generations to the game like never before. Myrtle Beach is golf in every way. Visit playgolfmyrtlebeach.com and learn how you can be a part of it.
There's a responsibility that accompanies this jersey, representing this country, wearing the colors and the crest. That gift, that privilege, that's where all the motivation, all the ambition comes from. To take everything this program has built and push it further than it's ever been before.
This is a rude awakening, kicking the door, back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war.
This team constantly moving forward, taking on that responsibility every day, every game, together on Fox.
Day 8 at Copa America begins in Atlanta, Georgia. A little bit later tonight in New Jersey on FS2. It's Bolivia and Uruguay from Group C. The USA in the tunnel. There's the captain, Christian Pulisic, with the armband on again as the States, ranked 11th in the world, get set to battle with 43rd ranked Panama. Again, a victory tonight for the U.S. all but assures their spot into the quarterfinals, and we are 714 days out from the start of the 2026 World Cup. This another massive step for the U.S. as they prepare for what will be the world's biggest sporting event. Rob Stone, Clint Dempsey, Carly Lloyd, Alexi Lawless back here with you. Clint, are you surprised Greg Berhalter made no changes to the starting 11?
I'm not surprised. Last game, I thought they got the job done. They got the 3 points. They kept the clean sheet. The only thing would have been perfect if they got more goals. So I'm not surprised by that, but they're going to have to come out and put in the same type of performance tonight. I think they'll win 2-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Panama.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Panamá.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, mantenerse de pie. A continuación, el himno nacional de los Estados Unidos.
The United States looking to take a major step towards the Copa America quarterfinals. Panama trying to spoil the party in Atlanta. John Strong, Stu Holden with the call next.
The top soccer stars from across Europe clash in UEFA Euro 2024. Hear the action on Sirius XM from icons
Ronaldo, unbelievable goal!
to international powerhouses.
4-1 Germany. This is a statement.
The best of the best battle for the chance to be called champions of Europe. UEFA Euro 2024. Hear live matches and expert analysis in the car on Fox Sports Channel 83 and Sirius XM FC 157, or listen on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Hey, have you ever used Cheapo Air?
Yeah, for years, and I really like it. With Cheapo Air, you can book online, use their app, or even over the phone. They've got great prices on over 500 airlines and millions of accommodations. They are my go-to for travel planning. Oh, and if you join their Club Miles program, you can earn points to save on the cost of your travel. Book on the app, and you get double points.
Sounds like it's time I tried Cheapo Air.
Call Cheapo Air at 855-292-7493 or visit cheapoair.com/Sirius.
The Copa America Roadshow is back where it began a week ago, and by the end of the night, one of these nations could be leaving Atlanta knowing they're going on to the knockout round, while the other knows their tournament going to be ending short. So the pressure is on already tonight as the United States takes on Panama.
Thomas Christensen going with a 5-4-1, taking out an attacking player, bringing in We're not sure if it's going to be Murillo, number 23, or Blackman, who plays further forward. Those two interchange, but certainly they will look to attack wide. Guerrero gets the start up front. A 12th cap for him. No goals yet for Panama. Most experienced players, Bárcenas on that left-hand side. 89th cap for him, 9 goals, certainly a threat. He will float inside and out on the field. For the United States, Greg Berhalter, 4-3-3 once again, and no changes for the United States. Matt Turner starts in the goal. He makes his 43rd appearance for the U.S. Chris Richards with his 20th. The same midfield. We'll see how long Tyler Adams could go. Only played a half against Bolivia. Expect him to go a little bit more. Giovanni Reyna, one of the things we talked to him about, was also trying to get further up the field. Flo Balogun starts after the goal, and Christian Pulisic, goal and assist for him. Can he add to that total today?
And no changes in the lineup from that game on Sunday in Dallas. As Greg Berhalter said, it was at one point a team hotel. Who would I bench? Who didn't play well in the opening game?
That's a good problem to have.
And an opportunity for the U.S. in a win to clinch their spot in the next round. It would depend on what happens later on tonight in the other game in the group. Down the road between Uruguay and Bolivia. Credit to these fans, by the way. You might know there's a presidential debate here in Atlanta later on tonight. Highways are closed. Surface streets are jammed. It is not easy to get anywhere in the city of Atlanta. But about 55,000 tickets were sold for this game, and another terrific atmosphere as there was Sunday in Dallas. Can it lift this U.S. team on to the next round in the last 8 standing in the Western Hemisphere? We are underway. It is the men of the United States wearing white. It is Los Canaleros, the Canal Men of Panama, wearing red. And it was a 2-0 win for the United States against Bolivia in Dallas Sunday in the opener. Christian Pulisic, the early goal, and then set up Flo Balogun late in the first half to seal the deal. Weston McKennie trying an early cross in and an early touch for Orlando Mosquera, who had a busy day for Panama in their opener. 4 saves that he made, a couple terrific ones as well, as Carrasquilla is fouled. But in the end, Uruguay was able to pull away from Panama in the second half for a 3-1 win. So if the U.S. wins this game, and if Uruguay were to win or draw later on tonight against Bolivia, the U.S. would advance with a game to go. Panama would be eliminated. So there's huge pressure on Panama to get a result, particularly a win, to keep their Copa America going as well.
Early foul there from Tyler Adams. I expect this game to be very physical today. Something to watch. He's on an early foul there. Ivan Barton's going to manage it.
Thomas Christensen, Danish-born, raised in Spain. Love the way that they played the second half of the game against Uruguay, hoping they can start that way tonight. As that cross gets it, Anthony Robinson had to be alert. The overhead kick is just over the bar from Edgar Bárcenas. So a good little chance from each team in the opening, 100-some-odd seconds.
Yeah, and it's a look at what to expect in this game. Straight, long, direct ball. No pressure on the ball here. Tim Weah stepped too late to get the pressure. It is onside. Guerrero running right through the middle. Gets the legs on Tim Ream. And then it is Blackman, as we imagine, playing in front of Murillo. He's on that right-hand side, commits to the box. Great header from Anthony Robinson initially, and then Bárcenas with the overhead kick that is not too far away, just on the roof of Matt Turner's net. So an early warning shot, expecting this throughout the game. Panama will be compact. They're not going to allow the U.S. much space in the middle of the field, and they will look to break in transition.
Berhalter yesterday at the team hotel said it was really a perfect outcome against Bolivia. So we got the win. The result was never really in jeopardy, but we know there's a lot of things we can do better, and so the group is not going to get overconfident as a result of that. And you see 44 wins now for Berhalter in charge of the U.S. That actually passed Bob Bradley with the win on Sunday for the 3rd most of any U.S. manager. Still a long ways to go to catch Bruce Arena with 81. But there was a good balance from Berhalter and the players around the team hotel last couple of days. They know they can play better. They know they could have scored more goals, but they understand getting that win in the opener is certainly key, and they do it again tonight against Panama. Richards going long. Anthony Robinson making the long run forward. That's Michael Murillo, the former New York Red Bull, one of 4 current or former MLS players on the field for Panama, who heads it out.
That's a great ball. I expect to see a lot of that today. That's how you can open up space against a deep-lying defense like that. And look, it's going to be 10 players behind the ball consistently. Guerrero will be the only one up. It also means you have to take care of the ball, something Chris Richards and Tim Ream in moments A little bit careless with some of the passes, the ball turned over. Definitely something Greg Berhalter highlighted.
And that's Yvonne Bartone's going to pull that back for the foul as Joe Scally was dragged down. As the U.S. had played it up over the top, that was a point that Tyler Adams echoed as well. Sitting down with him, they understand if they're giving the ball away today cheaply, it's going to make their lives a lot more difficult.
The other thing which becomes very important in a game like this is runs behind the back line. Like Tim Weah made one there. Tim Ream ends up trying to find Scally. But a run from midfield, it'll force either the defense to drop, and if they don't drop, then you're going to get in behind. But it can open up space for teammates. You constantly need movement against a very low block. It should be a foul.
Scally's tripped up and goes down. So the U.S. with an attacking free kick chance. They've been putting a lot of emphasis on attacking set pieces of late. They have a new set-piece coach. That was who Christian Pulisic was pointing towards in the stands when he scored the early goal against Bolivia. And yet, the last two games, it's been the individual brilliance of Christian Pulisic. Can he deliver the ball onto the head of a teammate here to put the U.S. up early? Pulisic into the middle. It's Richards. It's saved off the bar. The rebound's loose. McKennie's there. Less than 5 minutes in, and another early goal for the U.S. to take the lead.
So much emphasis, again, for the United States to be dangerous on set pieces, something they have really struggled with the past couple of years. To be dangerous, you need good service, and it's another great ball in from Pulisic. Now this header comes from Richards, and Ream touches that ball there, and he's offside. So this is going to be interesting to watch, because as Richards makes the header, although it also looked like it almost came off a hand there of one of the Panamanian players, but Ream pokes it back to McKennie. It's a great finish from Weston McKennie, his 12th goal, if it stands. But I'm interested to see here. It looked like Tim Ream was in an offside position, and he's the first one that makes the contact once it comes off the post after a touch from Mosquera.
Tatiana Guzman of Nicaragua is the video assistant referee, has some very high-level experience. She was the VAR of the Women's World Cup final a year ago. She was the VAR of the CONCACAF Nations League final in March. So you have as senior and experienced a VAR as exists in CONCACAF, the Confederation of North and Central America and the Caribbean, who is looking at this one with referee Yvonne Bartone of El Salvador, just waiting to hear from her.
He's so early in the game. But I tell you, from the very first minute, again, U.S. right down the right side, get an attacking opportunity, keeping the pressure on. A little bit of a chance for Panama in between, but the way in which they're just piling on the pressure with the set pieces, dangerous. We'll see if this one stands, though.
And they're going to take their time. They're going to be sure. And Yvonne Bartone has now walked away, and he is listening more intently here to Tatiana Guzman, the video assistant referee. Dr. Joe Machnik, our rules analyst and former FIFA match commissioner. Joe, what'd you see on that?
Well, John, the referee's not going to go to the monitor to check a factual offside decision. And the judgment here is not Ream's position when the ball comes off the post, but where his position is when the ball is struck by the U.S. player. And he may be just ahead of the last defender at that time.
Yeah, it's offside. It was.
Well, if Yvonne Bartone got on the public address with his mic, we certainly couldn't hear it because he was being drowned out by boos here in Atlanta.
Oh, here we go. We're back to zeros.
So Weston McKennie denied a goal. The U.S. denied an early goal. And let's see how both teams react to that moment as Adam steps in to knock it away. What's the significance? You mentioned how defensively Panama are set up. What's the significance of being able to get an early goal for the U.S. tonight?
Well, if you get an early goal against a team that's sitting back, it forces them to have to eventually come out to try to score. So that would have been the perfect start. The nightmare start is that you concede, and then the team just ends up sitting deeper.
You're immediately cringing and holding your hands out as you say that, as if you've just jinxed something. Christian Martinez with a long switch to Michael Murillo. Scored a terrific goal with the last kick of the game in their loss to Uruguay on Sunday. Cesar Blackman blasts that all the way through. Whatever his intention was, it ends up in the field suites. And Matt Turner, as Rob mentioned in the studio, celebrating his 30th birthday on Monday. 3-save shutout against Bolivia the day before. And that was something that Greg Berhalter had talked about for a guy that struggled to play this spring. Can he play himself into that form? Christian Pulisic has not struggled for minutes. He had a goal and an assist in that game on Sunday. Can they get him going early? Cordoba heads that wide. Ream knocks it forward. Balogun flicks it on. Pulisic was offside anyway. And that's looked like a handball on Davis, but it's not whistled on the field. Richards into a dangerous area. Ream had to slide through with a big tackle. Took a piece out of Blackman as well. And then Ream fouls Blackman, and free kick coming for Panama.
A couple moments, especially when the ball turns over, United States allowing a little bit too much time in the midfield, especially for the danger man, the man at the heart of this Panamanian team, which is Carrasquilla of the Houston Dynamo, playing those vertical passes, splitting the lines, getting players turned and facing the defense. If there's no pressure, it makes it very difficult for the U.S. to play a tighter or higher back line. So that pressure for the United States starts from that front line. You need Balogun, you need Pulisic, McKennie, Reyna stepping up, and Matt Turner had to be.
I mean, that was Michael Murillo just trying to prevent a midfield throw-in, and in the end, Turner has to scramble back and might be credited with his first save. Just 2 wins all time for Panama against the United States. They beat them in Panama City in the fall of 2021 in a World Cup qualifier. The other was in Tampa 10 years before in the Gold Cup. Last year's Gold Cup semifinal draw. That's a dangerous ball that Matt Turner had to be alert to there.
Yeah, look, Chris Richards, he's turning around apologizing to Matt Turner right now, but he didn't even look over his shoulder before he just turned blindly to play that and didn't assume that Guerrero was going to take a chance, and he did. He almost got there. So that is a part of Chris Richards' game, especially playing in the back. Now, he played in the midfield at times for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We've also seen him at a center back often, but to be clean and to be sure in the back especially, not to take risks in the wrong moments.
Carrasquilla pressured by Reyna, and he forces Cordoba to get rid of it quickly. It's kept in play by Davis just on the sideline. Barcenas picks it up now. Blackman running through the center. The cross is meant for him. Ooh, and then he cleans out Matt Turner. Wow. Now, it looked like there was a little bit of a shove that Blackman took from a U.S. defender, but Matt Turner's down hurt.
Wow, that was strong contact there as Matt Turner is completely exposed, going up for that ball, and just absolutely cleans him clean out. And he had no opportunity to really break his fall because he has 2 hands on the ball. Look at this. Oh, cleans out Turner from behind. He lets go of the ball, lands on that right shoulder. And I think Blackman, that's reckless, because he can see that he's never getting to that ball, and Turner's there. He doesn't slow down his run. I was trying to see if he got a push in the back, maybe from Robinson. Sometimes you're off balance. Didn't look like much from me, but that should be a yellow card. And Ethan Horvath now is up and warming up for the U.S. bench.
Greg Berhalter is hoping for good news. They're looking back at the video now. This is the goal that was disallowed for the U.S. early.
Yeah, as expected. Tim Ream, who gets that little touch, would have had an assist, knocking it back to Weston McKennie, but clearly it was just offside there with his shoulder when that ball comes off the header from Chris Richards. What a great header that was as well. And that Turner's up. And he's having words straight away with Ivan Barton. Not happy.
Now World Feed match director electing to show us a nice slow-mo montage of facial reactions in the last few minutes as Matt Turner from Park Ridge, New Jersey, getting back up and getting looked at here by the athletic training staff. And Turner, who has struggled for playing time, was benched in November at Nottingham Forest, was back to start in the winter, was benched a second time in February, and at that point it was only games for the United States. Ethan Horvath, who has a pretty good history actually of coming off the bench with heroics because of goalkeeper injuries in front of him in his time as the backup for the U.S. He's getting loose just in case. A nice ovation for Turner. All right, Jenny, that was on your end of the field. What are you seeing down there right now from Matt Turner?
Oh, I know you guys were getting some of those same visuals, but clearly it is that left leg. It appeared to be that left thigh they were making sure was okay. Almost the IT band they were rubbing out. Now, Matt Turner was visibly very uncomfortable, very upset with the officiating as well. Now, keep in mind, he has never beat Panama. He lost in the Gold Cup last summer to them, and he said to me early this week, this match means so much because he wants to get a win against Panama. He's fired up. He's back on his feet, walking it off. Let's see how he responds, guys.
And it's so interesting because, as you said, the treatment was on the left leg, but you also saw in that replay how hard the right shoulder hit. Natural grass surface here that's been rolled in over the top of the artificial surface that Atlanta United and the Falcons normally play on.
I'm still also baffled how that's not a yellow card.
What would be the argument? Because Anthony Robinson was certainly riding him on the way in.
Yeah, but still, you have to be responsible for your own body and the way in which, especially, you want to give goalkeepers some protection like that when they're up off the ground, where he can't do anything there, Matt Turner. And he had a clear path to get to the ball before Blackman even had a chance. So I think he gets away with one there for not picking up a yellow card.
Quarter hour played. We've lost about 6 minutes in total. Now there's a coming together off the ball. Roderick Miller is down. Tim Weah.
It's almost like we expected this to start to boil over. And that's where, again, it becomes important for yellow cards. And this time, Ivan Barton decides to give Tim Weah a yellow card. And he's trying to say it was shoulder to shoulder. I was focused on the ball, so didn't necessarily see how much the contact was from Weah off the ball. But this thing's going to start to boil up here, exactly as we expected. So there's Tim Weah, center of your screen. He's got his right hand up there with a bit of contact on the back of the head of Miller. So I would imagine, I don't think Ivan Barton saw that. I think he got help from his assistant referees.
So Tim Weah showing a yellow card. Only Weston McKennie on the field for the U.S. if booked tonight would be suspended for the group stage finale against Uruguay Monday night in Kansas City. Now, to your point, Ivan Barton of El Salvador, the ref, we're going to VAR here.
Wow.
So Tatiana Guzman has seen something in that collision.
Okay, well, look, the only view we saw was the very wide shot, so need to see it closer up, which clearly Ivan Barton is seeing here. Now it's going to, oh, wow, I think he might send him off here, John. It's red.
There you go.
It's taking away the yellow, giving a red card.
So we couldn't hear it over the public address, but we could actually hear him from where we're standing in a quiet stadium. But after VAR, it's upgraded to a red card for Tim Weah for striking Roderick Miller. And the U.S. will play with 10 for the entire rest of the night. So you've gone in about 10 minutes here from the U.S. thinking they're up 1-0 and sailing. Great position, early goal, to now at 0-0 be playing down a man the rest of the way.
Yeah, and now down a man, and now a change in shape too. So Giovanni Reyna's coming out to this right-hand side. Christian Pulisic's going to stay on the left. So this is going to look like a 4-4-1. Balogun is a lone striker. What it's going to do now, this could be interesting to see. Look, the U.S. are going to really have to work a lot harder without the ball. But in saying that, you might see Panama have more of the ball now and open up some space in transition for the U.S. to use the speed of Pulisic and Balogun. But Reyna's going to tuck in with the ball. But make no doubt about it, it's going to be a much, much harder game for the U.S. And just a silly decision from Tim Weah to get sucked into that game. It's exactly what we talked about before the game. It's a familiar opponent. You know what you're going to get. It's a CONCACAF team. They know how to get under your skin. They did that. Whatever happened between Miller and Weah off the ball resulted in that action from Weah. He sent off U.S. down a man.
And if you remember Saturday night when Ecuador played Venezuela, Ecuador had Ener Valencia, their captain and star player, sent off in the first half. They actually took the lead. They led at halftime. It can be harder sometimes to play 11 v 10 before they finally ran out of gas in the second half, and Venezuela won that game. Balogun trying to shield that ball down in the corner. It's out for a goal kick. All right, Dr. Joe Mackley, let's bring you back in and give us your thoughts here and what we saw.
Well, John, there's no controversy about that decision, and that's why the referee, at the moment he saw the replay on the monitor, he didn't need to see a second look. It's a clear striking, actually into the head of the opponent, and it's a 100% red card.
Man, everything had started great in the first game, so let's see what this team is made of. Here, down a man. How do you dig in? How do you fight? How do you get yourself into the game? How do you still find moments to create chances? A lot of game. And also, something to keep in mind over the course of this game is going to be substitutions become even more important now.
Great ball by Reyna to get it away for Joe Scally. Space and time. Balogun furthest forward. Pulisic wants it sent through, and it's to neither of them. And good alert Tyler Adams there to knock it out off Barcenas. Wide. Rio drops it off. Roberto Carrasquilla of the Houston Dynamo had the winning penalty kick for Panama against a very, very different looking U.S. team. Last summer at the Gold Cup, he was the standout player, MVP of that tournament as Panama lost to Mexico in the final.
The other thing, it's quieted down the crowd quite a bit, hasn't it? This crowd really was early into the game, everything that's gone on. Interested to see how they react. Big crowd, very pro-U.S. crowd. And maybe an opportunity for them to lift their team as well.
Martinez, that was behind. Barcenas coming inside. Balogun for Adams. Pulisic wanted that ball over the top. Robinson will send it that way. It's McKennie in chase. Farina, the defender. Robinson flying forward to pick it up. Balogun trying to return it. Back to Balogun! It's in! Off the inside of the post! What a goal from Flo Balogun to give the U.S. the lead!
Wow, what a finish from Flo Balogun there with the left foot. Now just watch, when the U.S. get in behind here, the way they squeeze up, but also the anticipation from Robinson with his speed. You think the chance is gone there, he tries to flick it to Anthony Robinson, comes back off him, and just an instinctive finish with the left foot. Doesn't get much better than that. That is top corner, little kiss off the post, into the back of the net. Oh my goodness, Flo Balogun, 2 goals now in this tournament with his left foot. His weaker left foot, I don't know, I'm not gonna call it weak after that strike. Just beautiful contact with the ball. A striker's finish there, that when it popped out, his first thought is not, can I control it? No. Boom, I'm hitting this on goal. I don't know how many chances I'm gonna get in this match. Fantastic finish. 5th goal for the United States.
There's a long ways to go, but that could be a goal that saves this Copa America for the United States.
But that's a mentality there, right? you asked me, what does this change? What do I want to see from this team? The way that, look, we're down 10 men, but we've got a chance to squeeze the game. The ball's deep in Panama's end. And it was a commitment from Robinson, who won that ball, but also the pressure from McKinney.
Pulisic on the run, Farina running with him. Just sort of clipped off of Pulisic's heel there. That allowed Blackman to come get it. Awkward there from Reyna on Murillo. Davis down the line for Guerrero to chase. Richards running with him. Prodding him up there, pokes it away for a Panama throw. And for Carrasquilla. Murillo making a big run around the outside. It's meant for him, it's all the way out. The round of 16 of the Euros begins Saturday. Switzerland against Italy on FS1, followed by Germany against Denmark on Fox. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on FS1. One of the knockout rounds of the Euros. Group stage is about a week behind at Copa America. And the tournaments will finish up in the middle of July. An exciting last 16 at the Euros. We'll be in the final 8 of this Copa America as Reyna takes the bump. That's not a foul against Christian Martinez. Davis running the other way, hands it off for Barcenas. Martinez in for Carrasquilla. Blackman, Robinson was there, didn't get it out cleanly, and it's a goal! Panama score! Caesar Blackman brought into the lineup. First career goal for his country, levels it in Atlanta.
The ball turns over in Panama's end, and the United States then are backtracking out of shape a little bit. And it's Blackman who comes inside to find some space. Anthony Robinson has to come all the way in with him. He makes the initial challenge, and just the ball pops out fortuitously to Blackman. But what a finish. Much like the instinctive finish that we saw from Balogun on the other end, he doesn't hesitate, just gets it off his foot quickly. So Matt Turner can't get set and get a good push off there down to his corner. And give credit, what a finish that is. For his first goal, as you said, he's inserted in the starting lineup and has repaid Thomas Christensen to level things here, 1-1. I wonder if this one's being checked potentially too. Maybe it was for a foul on Reyna in the build-up. I'm trying to think what it could be.
Everything is checked.
And that's what that turnover was there a potential foul? I felt maybe on Reyna. The U.S. were pleading initially for that foul, but it looks like it's been confirmed, not enough. So I think we've got a goal here, yeah.
So the U.S. lead lasts about 4 minutes. We're back to where we were as Turner's ball comes right to Martinez. Quickly forward to the goal scorer, Blackman. U.S. scrambling back. Ream blocks the initial effort. Anthony Robinson gets it away. Pulisic trying to throw his body in. Balogun off his shoulder, nods it down, runs out of space.
Panama goal scored by number 2, Cesar Camarena.
This is a Panama team that Thomas Christensen, their manager, said coming into the tournament, we need to get back to what Panama soccer is about, and the heart and the lungs and the desire. We had that at the Gold Cup last year, making the run to the final. They felt that they lost that a little bit in the last month, struggled through some World Cup qualifiers against tiny nations in CONCACAF. Felt that they got it back a little bit, especially in the second half against Uruguay in their opener. Murillo hooks in the cross, and just enough by Scally to steer all the way across. Davis sends it back in, Richards is there.
U.S. are going to have to defend a lot of crosses tonight, and the reason being now, because of the man advantage for Panama, they can really push their fullbacks high. That means that either Reyna's got to drop a little bit deeper, the same with Pulisic to get pressure. You can look at their build right now, they're 3v2 in the back. So they can work the ball into these wide channels, getting runners, but they're basically playing 5 players.
Martinez got back to it. It's still in. It's Barcenas. Ream gave up the chase. Barcenas blocked by Scally. Comes out to Davis. His cross into a dangerous area. Anthony Robinson steers it in behind for a corner, and the U.S. defenders are all barking at one another right now.
Well, it's difficult. This is where communication becomes very important in the back line, and you do not want to give Eric Davis time and space with that left foot of his to bend the ball. You got to look at it there. So dangerous with pace, hitting it behind your back line. So it's communication so much now on Ream and Richards to release players when they can, get pressure. But you're going to have Pulisic and Reyna doing the dirty work on the outsides.
Eric Davis, the captain, to take the most experienced player on the field for Panama.
You see what they're trying to do? They're going to try to whip this from Davis, that left foot right on top of Matt Turner. They're stacking at the near post. So this is where Turner has to decide if he can be aggressive and get a clear run at it.
Davis comes back instead from Martinez. Karaski is calling for it. It's reset wide. Now the cross is sent in. It gets popped sideways, and Turner's there to collect. Anthony Robinson carrying for it. Balogun's on a dead sprint down the middle of the field, but Robinson was closed down before he could play a pass. Well, we've packed a lot into the first 30 minutes here in Atlanta. A U.S. goal disallowed by a VAR decision. A red card shown to Tim Weah via VAR. A Flo Balogun bolt of lightning off the inside of the post. Followed 3.5 minutes later by a first career goal from Cesar Blackman. A guy that had struggled to get in the lineup for years for Panama because he's got players like Michael Murillo ahead of him at right back. And a U.S. team that, if they win, they could clinch their spot in the next round, depending on what happens between Uruguay and Bolivia later tonight up at MetLife Stadium. Panama know in a defeat they could be eliminated by the end of the night. Davis, that's going to be to no one. And Greg Berhalter, one of the things he said to us yesterday at the team hotel, we have to use this atmosphere to push us. Terrific atmosphere in Dallas. They were thrilled by ticket sales here in Atlanta.
This was that chance where the ball just stays in. Good work by Martinez. Then it comes around to Davis. Now look at that ball. That's a terrific ball right over the head of Chris Richards. And the key for Panama is that because of the numbers advantage, we keep talking about it because it's significant, the way that they can pour numbers into the attack. That meant that both players in the box there had a man each. So it comes down to man v man marking at times. You have to beat your man to the ball. That time the ball went right across the face of goal.
And Balogun was in an offside position when Turner punted it forward. The U.S. has had activity off of their bench since the red card, getting some players loose. Miller, a little pump fake to get around McKennie. Barcenas retreats it. Skia wide for Eric Davis. That makes Reyna with that pass. Barcenas, that was behind Karaskia. Balogun chests it down for Adams. And then Martinez, a clean tackle. Adams goes down. Anthony Robinson was there late. Took a chunk out of Martinez. It's a deflected cross. Back to the feet of Blackman. Blocked a second time by Adams. Christian Martinez is still down, rolling around on the field. Murillo overhits the cross to the back post. Barson is back in the middle. Karaskia couldn't get on the end of it. Balogun hits the eject button.
I think Robinson might get a retroactive yellow card here from Ivan Barton for that challenge. And yeah, he is. He was late stepping in. And this comes off a turnover in the midfield from Tyler Adams, which is tough because now you have to balance when you regain possession from the ball. Your instinct is, okay, now we go forward. And it was a bit of a reckless decision from Adams. He turned into pressure, turned it over. And then all of a sudden now guys are committed to going forward. They turned it over. Robinson tried to get back and make a challenge. Ends up catching Martinez late. You'll see here, it was a heavy touch. He just, nothing more than a yellow there for sure.
mentioned the crowd here in Atlanta. It's a city staking its claim as the soccer capital of America. U.S. Soccer, in fact, under construction right now with a national training center 30 miles southwest of downtown. That'll be the new headquarters of the U.S. Soccer Federation. Training facilities for all the different national teams, office space for the Federation's employees, and U.S. Soccer also today launching the Soccer Forward Foundation, making sure the 2026 World Cup leaves a legacy, ensuring everyone everywhere can benefit from the beautiful game, improving health and happiness by lowering costs, increasing participation, and providing more places to play across our country. So exciting things happening with U.S. Soccer, exciting things happening here in Atlanta. Can they deliver a victory? The Americans' first visit here in 9 years, and it was not a happy visit 9 years ago at the Georgia Dome, the old stadium here on this site. They lost in a Gold Cup semifinal to Jamaica. It was the first loss on home soil against Caribbean opposition since the 1960s. And then Panama one-upped them with a late loss in the next game against Mexico, a match that devolved into a small-scale riot, both on the field and in the stands. Stu and I are both there calling different games that night. Bad memories for both these teams in Atlanta in the past. Who can write a better chapter this evening? 10 minutes to go before the half. Wide it goes for Blackman, crossing in. That was Adams off the chest, and it's out for another Panama corner.
Christian Pulisic here gets a little caught in no man's land, whether he should stay with the overlapping run. He comes inside. Anthony Robinson had tucked deep. That space is wide. Another cross into the box. So the difficulty is you're going to need him a little bit deeper, Pulisic, in dealing with that overlapping, that wide run from Murillo and Blackman.
Davis just taps it short. He'll get it back now. Reyna out to meet him. Davis hooks it in all the way through. Let's hear more about Tyler Adams from Jenny down on the field. Jenny?
Well, I know we've been curious about Tyler Adams and his availability. Obviously, he played just the half against Bolivia, and I did learn before the match the plan was around 60 minutes for Adams as he gets back to full fitness. But my big question for Greg, and I will ask at the break, if that changes now that Panama does have that man advantage. Obviously, Tyler's leadership on the pitch, that vocal presence, you got to believe Tyler does not want to come out of this one.
It was one of the things he said to us last night is trusting the plan, listening to the people in charge. He did it again on Sunday. Same thing he did in March, where the plans take him off at half, and he's begging Greg Berhalter in the locker room to keep him on. But it's a tough one. Tyler Adams is the type of guy you need to have in a game like this, but you also have to think long-term for a guy that before Sunday had played 25 minutes of soccer in 2.5 months.
Yeah, he looked right at me when he said, you know how it is. You know, trying to balance the, look, I want to be on the field, but also coming back from a long-term injury, trying to stay on the field. But you have to try to see the bigger picture here. As a competitor, you want to be out there every single minute. He's so important to this team. And that's a silly foul there. It's going to be a free kick opportunity for the U.S. Now, that's a mistake from Panama, because what you do is you let the U.S. off the hook with an opportunity now to bring everybody up in a game where you're not going to have too many chances to now put a set piece in. The last one, which they scored from, that was
generated a goal.
Yeah.
It was just offside. And
so this one's deeper. This one's deeper in the corner now. You don't have the same angle as Pulisic. But only Joe Scally back.
Such a big point of emphasis, and Panama has struggled giving up goals from set pieces. That was a talking point for them coming into this game, is how many they've given up in the last year from dead ball situations. Pulisic swings it. Ow, that was McKennie up for it. Looked like Murillo got his head to it. It is last off McKennie, and it's out for a goal kick.
Good looking ball once again. Finding the man who had scored previously. It was Weston McKennie, rises up. Timed his run really well there. He just gets a bit of contact as he goes to head it, and it glances off his head, throws him off balance, and goes behind for the goal kick.
The U.S. continues to play with 10 men after that 18th minute red card shown to Tim Weah. Balogun briefly giving them the lead as Richards knocks it away. Pulisic is not going to be able to get to that one. Murillo knocks it down and gets it back from Martinez. Good step by Anthony Robinson. Remember, he's on a yellow card, so he's got to be careful the rest of the way. Adams clips it forward. Pulisic put it too far in front. Adams steps in with a big tackle. McKennie was already backtracking, though. And the nice thing is, if you're going to have to do a lot of extra running because you got one less player, do it in an indoor stadium and not, say, Monday night in Kansas City where it's going to be heat index of 90 degrees at kickoff. Miller with Balogun for company, forces the errant pass out.
That's good work from Flo Balogun, the goal scorer on the night. He had another look at just the fantastic strike that he had for that goal. And all of a sudden, just how quickly it turns into a different type of night for him, because it's a night where, as a striker, you're going to have to do defending, you're going to have to do dirty work. All 10 men out there really have to dig in deep in all types of moments. Great work there, good strength.
And the referee will whistle as a foul eventually. Once it was clear, Balogun couldn't fight his way through on Roderick Miller. And Balogun's making the point, could that be a yellow card at that point that he's got position on Miller?
He's not trying to play the ball there, Miller. He knows he's beat. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Absolutely a yellow card. That's 2.
Right in for Pulisic, taking some contact in there. The fans will howl. Yvonne Bartone shrugs his shoulders. Tatiana Guzman, the video assistant referee, has had a busy night already, and she'll be taking a look at that behind the play as Murillo carries forward. This long switch to the far side. Blackman, the goal scorer for Panama tonight. Martinez couldn't find an angle for the pass. There is just a nice little edge to the atmosphere. Is this patience from Panama, or is this the U.S. doing a good job of not giving them anything?
A bit of both. U.S. are shuffling across well. Panama moving the ball slowly.
Martinez crossing in. Turner stays at home. Scally heads it away. That might be a handball. It's fired back in wide, and it is now going to be given as a handball.
Yvonne Bartone, advantage played with a handball.
Well, what he's doing is just in case that ends up as a goal, and he saw it wrong. Against Eduardo Guerrero. Well, the other half of Group C playing later tonight at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey when Uruguay takes on Bolivia. That's coming up on FS2 later on this evening. We'll be watching that one, and as we said, this result, that result, we could be talking about the U.S. and Uruguay through with a game to go. Could be talking about Bolivia and Panama eliminated. Could be talking about total chaos in Group C and everything to play for on Monday night. Simultaneous games in the group stage finale. Murillo reverses it for Blackman into the middle for Barcenas. Carrasquillo wants it. All the way wide it comes for Davis. Reyna out to meet him. Little pump fake to create the space. Davis in, swinging cross is overhit.
Good work by Gio Reyna there. Being asked to do a lot of defensive work, but what he does that's smart is he makes sure he gets onto the left foot of Davis. That was that long direct ball. There's certainly contact on Christian Pulisic. And Yvonne Bartone, center of attention.
Is there a way to get Pulisic more involved and more dangerous looking like he was on Sunday? Or the fact that the U.S. is playing with 10, is that just kind of gone?
It's so difficult. It's a totally different game now. So he's going to have to find ways himself just to be patient. And when it's going to be a transition game, you're not going to see long spells of possession for the U.S. because you see Panama, and I'm watching their coach, Thomas Christian, too. He's saying, look, when they have the ball back, when it's Richards and Ream, press, press, press. We have the man advantage. We can release defenders, step into the midfield, and they just want to keep it this type of game. Almost like a power play in hockey in a way, where a man's down and they just want to continue to suffocate you, work the ball around, be patient, and then when the moment is there, they're going to try to take advantage of it.
72% possession for Panama right now. Davis on Reyna, forced backwards for Barcenas. It was mishit there by Martinez, although Adams' touch.
You know, something I'd be interested in seeing potentially in the second half is playing Christian Pulisic as the 9. And maybe that means that Balogun's out of energy.
Gonna get Davis back door. He's going to get there. He puts it into a dangerous area as the U.S. was caught napping on that one.
And that's the left back from Panama who's making that deep run. Joe Scally just positionally there, not quite expecting that ball. Again, difficult to get pressure. So when you're playing a little bit, trying to play a tight line together in that moment, it's a great timing of the run as well as the cross. Mosquera applauding it back in his own net. He's not had a lot to do since the red card.
But you like the idea of Pulisic being
I like the idea potentially of him as the 9 because you're not asking him to do a lot of the defensive work. He has the speed, he can run, he can create on those rare moments that you're going to be able to play with transition. You need speed up front for sure.
Scally just got decked. Guerrero came in, and the U.S. at this point trying to figure out.
What's it going to take for a yellow for Panama at this point?
There you go.
I guess we found the line. Yeah, I would have been shocked if we didn't. Look at that. He's not even looking at the ball there, Guerrero. He just throws his shoulder into Joe Scally. 100% yellow card.
It was a bit of a surprise to start this one. Eduardo Guerrero, just his 5th career start, as you mentioned earlier. No goals yet for Panama instead of Jose Fajardo, who's been their consistent starter there. And Ivan Bartone, the referee, he gets a lot of high-profile games in the CONCACAF region. He was in charge of the Champions Cup final at the beginning of June, Nations League final a year ago. He's at the World Cup.
We might see a Weston McKennie long throw here. 5 added minutes we're going to get. But I think the U.S. might end up using this like a set piece. So Weston McKennie's trying to dry his hands off, get good grip on the ball. But this is smart.
He wants a towel right now.
Yeah, he wants a towel to try and dry the ball up, but he's going to launch it. You want, ideally, Chris Richards to be the first one challenging this. Mosquera's way off his line.
And it comes from McKennie, not going to find Richards. Reyna trying to hold it in. U.S. players trying to get themselves back on side. Reyna wins a second header. No one there in a white shirt. But Ivan Bartone has a very high yellow cards per game average in international matches. This thing's just getting started based on his history. Balogun fouled. Free kick coming again for the U.S. in a good spot. 1 minute elapsed of the minimum 5 in first half stoppage time.
Yeah, I've been impressed here with Balogun's maturity, but also the sense of the game. He could have continued here and kept playing, but as he did before, you know your team has been suffering without the ball. So it shows a high level of IQ here to be like, look, I recognize if we get a foul, we get a free kick, we get a set piece, real attacking opportunity. Now he's trying to get the crowd going too. A lot of players at the back post right here.
Panama pressing up really high on this one. Let's see if Pulisic can drop this in. Here it comes. McKennie in the area, out jumped. Balogun first to the loose ball. Tyler Adams. Anthony Robinson. Dangerous area. Gio Reyna's not going to get there. Chance for the counter the other way. Martinez. Reyna knocks it down. Richards was there. Martinez a strong tackle. The U.S. get away with that one.
Play broken up by Gio Reyna once again. First one to react, running back.
Balogun 1v3 in there, trying to get on the end of that long ball. Mosquera went down. That was clean from Reyna, says the referee. Robinson steps his head in. Well, he's flying all over the place right now. Farina wins the header. Falls back to Richards. Scally. Balogun wants it. Can he drop it in? Oh, can he? Balogun is in! Balogun off the bar! And now the flag comes up for offside at the end of the sequence.
And the assistant referee does the right thing. I'm not so sure. I felt like he was onside. What a ball from Joe Scally, regardless. And then the ball just gets caught slightly under his feet. Yeah, I think he was just a tiny step offside past Miller. But the first touch, he wanted to take it there. That touch was just a little too soft, so he's trying to create the angle. He's reaching for it. That's why it ends up high and comes off the post. Right off the crossbar. Great running from Balogun. All things considered, I feel he's had a strong half for the U.S. The goal, of course, but just highlighting the little things off the ball that he's doing, that Reyna's doing.
It's been a consistent question. Something talked about again in our studio pregame. Can he become the guy in that role. 6 games without a goal since October. Has scored in both games here at the Copa America.
It's going to be interesting at halftime what Berhalter, you're going to mention Berhalter, what he does at halftime. Does he use this up now and use that window, an opportunity to get some fresh legs, tweaking tactics the way you're defending? Subs are going to be so important in the second half.
Marcinus miscontrols it. It's one of the things he said at the press conference yesterday when asked about the expectation of a physical game. As we take a look back here at this. Well, that was the way it read.
Yeah, it's clear as day. Yeah. Just got frustrated that Miller had his hands on him, and I think the emotion got the best of him.
Berhalter said we never shy away from physicality, and he doubled down on that with us in the team hotel yesterday. So it's a team that can fight and can grind. Well, they're going to have to do that the rest of the way to get a result in this one as Scally rises up to win the header. Karaski over the top. Turner, good starting position, easy catch. What do you think about, when I say all we've seen, that's a very broad question here for this first half.
Yeah, a lot to pack in this first half. Can't wait to hear what everyone in the studio talks about. And I think circumstances considered and the way in which they responded with the goal. And then, look, I think it was a great finish from Blackman for the goal from Panama. Robinson makes the tackle, but the way they've defended since and stayed in this game, about all you could ask.
Rob Stone, over to you and the crew in Los Angeles for all of your thoughts. 45 minutes down, 45 to go here in Atlanta, where it is the United States 1, Panama 1.
The Copa America 2024 halftime show on Fox is presented by BMW. Rob Stone back with you in our studio. So Panama and the U.S. tied at 1s after an eventful first 45. Coming up, we're going to dissect Timmy Weah's red card, get you ready for Uruguay-Bolivia later tonight, and for Brazil's second match tomorrow against Paraguay.
SiriusXM Fight Nation is hitting the road with a stop in Las Vegas for International Fight Week. Beginning June 27th at 12 Eastern, SiriusXM Fight Nation will broadcast live from UFC X all week long ahead of UFC 303. Catch MMA Today and more special programming direct from Sin City.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Your home for the best UFC 303 coverage is SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 156.
Surviving COVID was nothing short of a miracle. If you are self-employed or 1099 and file a Schedule C in your tax returns, you may qualify for the Self-Employed Tax Credit. This tax credit could pay you over $32,000. Go to qualifymybusiness.com. Again, qualifymybusiness.com. Submit your online application and follow the easy step-by-step directions. We've made the entire process automated to make it easy for our customers. You pay nothing up front. We get a small portion of what you collect after you receive your refund in hand. If you don't get paid, we don't get paid. This is not a loan. There is nothing to pay back. This refund is tax-free. If you're self-employed or 1099 and file a Schedule C in your taxes, then you may qualify. Find out how much of this $32,000 you qualify for. Go to qualifymybusiness.com. Again, qualifymybusiness.com.
Travel is great, but planning for travel can be time-consuming and difficult. That's where OneTravel comes in. With OneTravel, you'll find everything you need to book the perfect trip. Flights, hotels, cars, transportation, it's all right there. With OneTravel, book online, via app, or even pick up the phone and talk to a travel advisor ready to help you make your selections. Visit onetravel.com/Sirius or call 1-888-217-2722. Plan it, book it, live it. OneTravel.
Party people! Feel the energy of 8 decades of hits.
You're unbelievable.
That made summer even hotter.
It's getting hot in here. So hot.
The Billboard Top 500 Summer Hits Countdown. For a limited time, starting Saturday on Channel 105. And all summer long on the SiriusXM app. Just search Summer Sounds.
CONMEBOL Copa America 2024 is sponsored by BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Florian Balogun now with 2 goals in 2 games at this Copa America. What a gorgeous strike it was in the 22nd minute. You'll see it in a moment. It gave the U.S. the lead, but Panama able to equalize just minutes later. 1-1 at the break in Atlanta. Rob Stone, Clint Dempsey, Carly Lloyd, and Alexi Lawless back in studio with you. As wild of an opening 26 minutes as you will ever witness in this game. So let's get right to the flashpoints with our first half highlights. Sponsored by BMW. Pick things up second minute.
Yeah, 2 minutes in, we're going to see a bicycle. We're going to see something. Oh, my goodness, that is incredible.
Better looking electric.
Your stunt double in Atlanta.
Wow, margarita. Okay, over the top here. And as I said, 2 minutes in, U.S. on their heels. Barcenas. I mean, that's a good attempt right there, right off the bat. And they say, yeah, we're here to play. We don't fear you. We have no awe.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to see another set-piece goal from the U.S. Great ball in from Christian. Chris Richards with the header comes off the post, falls to McKinney. You think he got off to the perfect start, but wait. It was going to be reviewed, and it looked like Tim Ream might have been in an offside position after the ball hit off the post and was able to have an effect on the play, which reversed the goal.
Would have been the second straight game with a fast goal off a set piece. Go to the 12th minute, and how about this collision?
Awful collision here. I mean, Panama came into this game knowing they were going to be physical. Turner just lands horribly on that shoulder.
Keep an eye on the right side of the screen. Tim Weah right there.
Can't do that. Can't do that. You can't do that. It's just dumb any way you slice it. Unnecessary.
Originally given a yellow, overturned, straight red. Third red of this tournament. Earliest U.S. men's national team red since 2010. Our friend Jimmy Conrad got one in the 17th minute.
Yeah, and after the red card, you're thinking, how's this team going to get back in the game? This is how they're going to do it. Balogun, a man on fire right now. Already scored a goal in the last game, adds to his second, both with the left foot and world class here.
His 5th goal in 14 U.S. appearances, but the celebration would be short.
There is a but, because Panama playing the ball centrally here. Blackman gets on it, tries to take a shot, gets a second opportunity, and in the left-hand corner, Panama tie it up 1-1.
Panama, 71% possession at the half, a 7-3 shot advantage. Clint, let's go to the moment that has changed the face of this game. A red card to Tim Weah. Uncharacteristic is the word you've been using.
Yeah, I think so. He's always kind of a calm guy. He talks about the vibes in the team and just goes about his business and makes good plays happen. For me, it doesn't seem like something that he would normally do. You can see that he was getting kicked off the ball, getting pushed. It almost looked like he tried to push the guy back, but in the chest or in the shoulder, and it just was too high. Anytime you hit a guy above the shoulders with your hands, it's going to be a red card, and you can't let your team down like that.
No excuse. Absolutely no excuse. But if this U.S. team is truly as good as we think they are, they find a way out of this. At the very least, you close up shop, you get a point, and as we heard Stu Holden say, as Panama has more of the ball and starts pushing to possibly get that second goal, there's going to be space for Christian Pulisic and others.
The substitution patterns, maybe starting at the halftime whistle, are going to be very interesting for the U.S. 1-1 at the break. Later tonight, the other two teams from Group C meet at MetLife Stadium. Uruguay looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 as they have Bolivia. Coverage coming your way live over on FS2. Brazil surprisingly held to that scoreless draw by Costa Rica in their opener here in L.A. They're hoping for better luck tomorrow against Paraguay. What kind of pressure are they on?
Hey, it's Andy Richter, here to tell you about the Andy Richter Call-In Show. Each week, I'll be inviting callers to weigh in on important questions like, have you ever seen a ghost? What's the worst job you've ever had? What's the worst date you've ever been on? Along the way, I'll be joined by my favorite comedians and friends. Check out the Andy Richter Call-In Show. New episodes each Wednesday at 4 p.m. East and West, with replays throughout the week on Conan O'Brien Radio. The show will also be available on demand in the SiriusXM app whenever you want. Just search Andy Richter.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription.
Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC+. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Tired of hearing scary ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. We may be able to significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe to the IRS. Taxpayers should know. Huge savings are now being made available through the Fresh Start program that can drastically reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. Even if you haven't filed your taxes in years or are facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or under audit, we can help. We've earned over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today. To see what savings you may qualify for, visit us online at TRA.com or call us at 800-511-4207. 800-511-4207. Again, that's 800-511-4207. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tonight on Sirius XM Sports.
After opening Copa America with a win over Bolivia, Team USA takes on Panama as they look to remain unbeaten in Group C play. Tune in now on Fox Sports Radio Channel 83 with post-match reaction on Sirius XM FC Channel 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here.
The Copa America 2024 halftime show on Fox is presented by BMW.
Stories continue to be told at Euro 2024. Fabulous hit! Fabulous goal! Drama heaped on drama. What a story! That's what dreams are made of.
The Euros knockout stage begins Saturday, and Sunday, July 14th, will be an epic day here at Fox Sports. That's when our Summer of Stars reaches its climax with the Euros and the Copa America finals on the same day. Brazil planning on getting back to the Copa final. They were held, though, to that scoreless draw by Costa Rica last time out. The 5-time World Cup winners have just 2 wins in their last 9 matches. Can they get back on track tomorrow night? Brazil, Paraguay. In the second of our 2 matches, we begin with Colombia and Costa Rica at 5 Eastern. Both those matches live on FS1. The United States down a man, but level at the break against Panama. The second 45 from Atlanta on deck.
Baseball fans, no matter who your team is, the Believe Podcast Network has you covered. Every team, every topic, everywhere. The most passionate fans and the most knowledgeable former players bring you the in-depth analysis you crave with podcasts dedicated to your team and your team only. Search Believe right now on the Sirius XM app and download your team's podcast today. That's BLEAV. Every team, everywhere.
In the game of life, every point matters, especially when it comes to your loved ones. Score big for your family by securing life insurance with SelectQuote. Their team of experienced licensed insurance agents can help you find the right policy at the right price in just minutes. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote can help you score big on affordable coverage. Don't let the clock run out on your chance to protect your family's future.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-463-9797. That's 1-800-463-9797. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-463-9797. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Rural is the roots of our nation. Sirius XM's Rural Radio. We've got everything from hunting, fishing, and conservation, horses and horse training.
Of news, weather, and the commodity markets.
Sirius XM, it doesn't matter where you are in North America, it's always there. They'll have it in their trucks, in their combines, in their tractors.
Rural Radio, Channel 147. And Sirius XM app.
The beats that move the culture. Sirius XM celebrates Black Music Month with Black Music Forever, a limited edition channel with hip-hop, R&B hits, and breaking music from Black artists. By 8 p.m. Black Music Forever. Throughout the month in the SiriusXM app. SiriusXM.com/BMM for more info.
Some concerns about U.S. keeper Matt Turner involved in this nasty 12th minute collision. He elected to play on, but at the halftime whistle, talking with trainers, having some issues with his ribs, his shoulder, and there he is talking with 29-year-old Ethan Horvath and the Cardiff City keeper going through warm-ups. And there are some solid indications right there, reading the nonverbals, that Horvath will be coming on for Matt Turner to start the second half. Cameron Carter-Vickers also appearing to be coming on to start the second half. Lexi, this is a huge moment for the manager, Greg Berhalter.
Yeah, if this is an assessment of this team, it's also an assessment of Greg Berhalter. Do the things you need to do to find a way out of it.
3 subs, Horvath, Carter-Vickers, Cardoso coming on for the second half call once again. John Strong and Stu Holden.
And Rob, let's go quickly down to Jenny Taft, because Jenny, you've been talking to Greg Berhalter and others to give us a sense of what's going on here for the U.S.
Well, I was worried, John, about the body language for Matt Turner when he was leaving the pitch. Now, it is confirmed a leg injury for Matt Turner. I know Rob just mentioned those changes. Horvath, Cardoso, Cameron Carter-Vickers. They're shifting to a 5-3-1. Greg telling me the message, we gotta dig in, dig deep right now.
Well, we came into the night talking about the U.S. with an opportunity with a win to clinch their spot in the knockout stage by the end of the night. The reality is, if Panama wins this game with the man advantage, if Uruguay does as we expect and beats Bolivia later tonight in New Jersey, the U.S. would be in a situation where they probably would have to beat Uruguay and get goal differential in their favor to advance to the knockout stage. So this thing has changed very quickly, courtesy of the Tim Weah 18th minute red card, second of his pro career. The U.S. had the lead for 3.5 minutes. Huge possession edge, as you would expect, and now a goalkeeper injury, and Ethan Horvath is on the field as one of 3 halftime subs. What are you looking for? And yeah, broader picture, I mean, how big a moment is this?
Yeah, big. So you're going to see a couple of different things in the back now from the U.S.
As Anthony Robinson intercepts, Martinez trying to pick it up to the corner. Blackman, who has the Panama goal. Martinez once again. Robinson, that's a terrific tackle. Well, it looked from up here as if it was last off Martinez. It is out for a Panama corner.
We'll be able to talk over a little bit more when the U.S. are in their defensive shape, but it's more of a 5-3-1. Balogun up high, 3 midfielders tucked in tight. And then the 5, it becomes important as the outside fullback, Robinson and Scally, that you release and you get out to that wide midfielder. So it's less responsibility on the midfielders at times defensively. Which we'll illustrate in a minute, but they have to defend this corner first.
For the first time, and that one comes all the way through.
Not to mention Ethan Horvath now, who's going to get his first touch of the ball into the nets.
He's done this before, Ethan Horvath, and this was the collision that took out Matt Turner. And as Jenny mentioned, he and Horvath were having a big chat at the end of the half. Horvath spent the whole half warming up. But he did this in Denver, his hometown, 3 years ago in the Nations League final against Mexico, which was really the catalyst moment for this generation of players to beat Mexico in the final. It was the first trophy they won together. He came on for an injured Zach Steffen in the second half. It was 1-1 at that point. Ended up going to extra time at 2-2. And Horvath most notably made a deep into stoppage time of extra time penalty save on Mexico's Andres Guardado to secure that win for the United States.
So just a better look now at this defensive shape. Look at the 5 along the back. And as the ball goes wide, Scally, being that outside back, is going to have to step to try to get to the outside winger, whoever it ends up being in that moment for Panama. And then they kind of shift into a back 4. But it means that Pulisic can stay a little bit higher at times, as well as McKennie. Those two are going to release. Johnny, the responsibility then comes on him in the middle of the field to try to have control. Obviously, they didn't want Tyler Adams, who's already on limited minutes, to have to do that extra work that you do when you're down a man. And then for Balogun, as he did in the first half, picking moments, be strong holding the ball up, win fouls when you can to get your team up the field. But make no mistake about it, this is going to be a big effort here for the United States to at least tie and get a point, because you don't want to lose because of what that potentially does then in the group that, as you said, John, they would need a result, potentially a win against Uruguay.
Johnny Cardoso, who we saw as a sub in Dallas. Cameron Carter-Vickers, just his 18th appearance for the United States. Title winner once again with Celtic in Scotland. And then Horvath, his 10th career appearance, first since a one-save shutout against Oman in a friendly in September. Murillo carrying forward, takes the bump from Pulisic, tries to roll it back for Blackman. And there was a change for Panama as well as Robinson steps in. Jose Fajardo, who scored goals in the past against the U.S. Here he is on the ball, replacing Guerrero up front. Guerrero shown a yellow card right at the end of the half. Martinez blocked by McKennie. Robinson, Pulisic, and it'll be a U.S. throw. And I mean, those little tiny moments, not just getting the ball first, but winning a throw, winning a free kick, so huge.
And even right before that, it's getting blocks on shots from distance. And that's when it becomes so important that even if you're making up 5 or 10 yards and you're trying to shuffle across and you're a step late because you're trying to cover inside, that you can still make sure you get out together, you get that block on any type of shot, and don't allow a clear look at goal, because that's what happened on the Panamanian goal from Blackman.
And it's funny, these types of moments that over the years we've gotten so annoyed at opponents for, slowing the game down, kicking the ball away, the game within the game. That's part of success for the United States in the second half as Ream clears it long. And as Alexi said, what a test for Greg Berhalter. What a test for these players. They've been through hard moments, to be sure. They're able to grind their way through and benefit from a late own goal against Jamaica in March in the Nations League semifinal. Remember, there were moments in World Cup qualifying where things were teetering on the edge. They battled through against Iran in the group stage finale, got the win they had to get despite tons of late pressure. This is a group that has shown backbone plenty of times. They're going to have to do it again for the next 40 minutes plus stoppage time here in Atlanta. Ream all the way out wide to defend on Murillo, forces him backwards. Miller, Barcenas, Richards defending him. Into the middle for Fariña, and he'll let it go. Horvath tested for the first time tonight. That ball you could tell was knuckling, because he just got anything on it he could.
Exactly, and this is the challenge. Also, you're not expecting Fariña to rip one from there as he did with that type of venom. So that'll feel good for Horvath for a number of reasons. A, because he keeps it out, but B, now as a keeper coming in as a sub like that, you're into the game. You got your first touch. Adrenaline's pumping.
And Matt Turner didn't make a save in that first half, so that's the first save of the night for U.S. goalkeeper, and an offside flag ends the sequence.
But what I will say about this defensive structure that Berhalter has switched into as we get another look from that ball, knuckling there. Horvath just taking no chances, not trying to catch it. Constantly moving. Ream's quick to react. Same with Carter-Vickers. The adjustments I like from Berhalter, because what he's done is he's made sure he's got an extra number in the wide areas, being Scally and Robinson, so much emphasis on that. But why? To stop crosses. that was the challenge in that first half. Down a man, it was just cross after cross after cross. Already through 5 or 6 minutes, we'll see as the half progresses, you haven't seen many of those crosses, so it means you can defend space in front of you as well as a man, but you still have to get pressure on the ball.
They're going to load up the long throw again. We talked about it. These are narrow fields, 70 yards wide instead of 75 at Copa America because you're fitting them into NFL stadiums. So it's less distance for this ball to travel to get on the head of a teammate. Richards and Carter Vickers forward. McKennie was sort of the sidewinder motion. Gets it in, takes a flick. Richards, Balogun was in the area. And can the crowd do their part as well to lift this U.S. team over the line, at least with a draw? Pressure would certainly still be on to get a result against Uruguay. As that one sails all the way out past Barcenas. And there's a great moment. There have been certainly occasions where the U.S. has done what they're trying to do, including at the last Copa America. They were up a goal in a game they had to win against Paraguay at the end of the group stage. DeAndre Edlin got sent off. They fought their way through. Fans of a certain vintage will remember the 2006 World Cup against Italy, the eventual champions. They played a lot of that game. It's actually 9v10. They grinded their way through to get a result. Can this group of players add themselves to that list of great moments? Fighting against the odds, Balogun and Chase. And runs out of real estate. Skia met by Johnny Cardoso. Out to Barcenas. Barcenas going to run it Weston McKennie. Back to Karaskia. Cross from Murillo. All the way along now for Blackman. Martinez. Will work in the end for Karaskia to hold in. Christian Martinez now given space and time to get a cross in. Ream stabs it out. Christian Martinez, who played parts of 3 seasons with Greg Berhalter in Columbus. They had a great greeting before the game. That's swept away by Johnny Cardoso and Ethan Horvath. Able to come and get it just in case it was last off Johnny. Thomas Christensen knows the same. It's a huge moment for Panama. This would be a terrific achievement for them. Not necessarily just to win this game, but to advance out of this group at the expense of the U.S.
Well, boy, would they love to be going into that Bolivia game knowing that if they win that they're in. And that's why I think you're going to see them really understand the moment and the advantage that they have being up a man, the U.S. back defending, that you're going to see a ton of attacking subs from Panama. They're going to go all out to try to win this game.
And they come in very short-handed. They've lost a number of starters to injury, including in the opening game. That's going to be a push against Weston McKennie before his handball. So a Panama team that's very short-handed right now. Anyway, McKennie trying to go quick. Anthony Robinson on the run. Oh, what a great first touch. Gets the cross into the middle. It was behind Balogun, but another chance for a long throw.
That was interesting. Off that free kick.
Instead taken short, Pulisic. Back to Anthony Robinson. Pulisic gets it along for Johnny Cardoso. It was a lot for Pulisic to handle in tight quarters. And now these transition moments become interesting as Panama try to carry forward. Richards defending out in space, couldn't get there in time. Eric Davis running now at Weston McKennie. Trying to return it in. Richards couldn't get there. Scally trying to close it down. And it's lifted all the way through for a goal kick.
It's kind of the reality of the game now, though, and what I was going to make the point was off that free kick, the United States, clearly by design, sent both fullbacks forward. So Scally was high on the right, Robinson was high on the left, and I think by having the 3 center backs there, Greg Berhalter is saying, look, when we have those moments and we can do it, I'm comfortable defending with the 3 back there that they can put out the transition, which they did just about there. Almost a chance for Panama, but worked out for the United States. Goal kick as they get ready to make a change.
Freddie Gondola, who had the assist on the goal they scored against Uruguay, preparing to come on. We did see Brendan Aronson. We thought he might be coming on at the half. He was warming up with that group at the break. And he's part of a group of U.S. players getting loose now. Flipped up, Barcenas the flick. Fajardo was making a run towards it. Ream settles it for Horvath. Martinez in the area, and a good solid clearance there by Ethan Horvath. The round of 16 at the Euros begins Saturday. Switzerland against Italy on FS1. Germany, Denmark on Fox. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on FS1. And the pause between the group stage and the knockout at the Euros. The pause that we will get second half of next week, as the group stage finishes up here at the Copa America. Johnny took a bump there from Martinez that allowed Carrasquilla to collect the ball. He's trying to angle the pass in. Carter Vickers running with Fajardo. Fajardo trying to nutmeg him inside. Carter Vickers doing just enough there. Penalty shout from the Panama bench.
Oh, risky.
Finger wag from referee Yvonne Barton.
Really risky, and he's just going to pause play to be sure and make sure it was a ball from Carter Vickers, and I think it was my first instinct. And he had to drop deep because he had the run coming in behind there from Fajardo, and Carter Vickers rightfully deciding in that moment, look, I can't take the gamble and step up to try to play offside. So he ran with Fajardo, who tried to turn him, a little bit of a nutmeg and a lunge, but just enough. I think the timing as well on the ball to make sure he cleared that.
Panama have a sub they can make as well, but they're holding on that. And still we wait for Tatiana Guzman, the video assistant referee, to have a look. And we'll see if we get a look at it as well. Here we go.
We'll get a look at it. There's the nutmeg. So look, a little bit of contact there. Yeah, no, that I don't think that should not be a penalty in my mind. And it's actually Fajardo who gets the contact, but.
And indeed, no penalty. Check complete.
Good positioning. He did enough there, not lunging, not taking the legs. So well done from Carter Vickers, just living on the edge.
Cesar Blackman, it was his goal in the 26th minute. 3.5 minutes after Flo Balogun gave the U.S. the lead. His night is done. El Tanque, Freddy Gondola, is on. Second sub of the game for Panama. Pulisic off the throw, couldn't take it in stride. Cordova sends it clear to the far side of the field. Joe Scally didn't seem entirely sure what he wanted to do with that ball. Rio up ahead, Anthony Robinson playing on a yellow card. Got to be smart in moments. Chasing Barcenas back in the middle. So looks like Barcenas is flipped to the right. Going on the left. Martinez, Barcenas. Trying to get a return ball in there for Martinez. Carrasquilla first to the loose ball in the middle. Dancing around, Pulisic gets the pass away. Barcenas inside position on Anthony Robinson, who's able to recover and wins the free kick for the U.S.
Great work by Anthony Robinson here. You could just see his pure athleticism and speed, and it felt like Barcenas had the inside track on him there, but the quick recovery run to get his body in the way, to get the good shoulder-to-shoulder contact.
An hour played here in Atlanta. Quite a lot that we've seen so far. A 5th-minute U.S. goal ruled out on a correct, if narrow, offside decision from VAR. Tim Way has shown a red card via VAR. The U.S. a man down, taking the lead through Flo Balogun. Giving that lead away 3.5 minutes later as Elena Mosquera has had very little to do lately, coming out to get it. And then Matt Turner in a collision with a Panama player. He finished the half, but ended up coming off at halftime for Ethan Horvath. And the U.S. team that knows, with a win, a chance to clinch their spot in the knockout round with a game still to play, depending on what happens tonight. If they lose this game, they could be having to win against Uruguay Monday at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City just to have a chance of advancing. Panama in a similarly desperate situation, trying to get this win, give themselves a chance to go through with a half an hour plus stoppage time to go. Michael Murillo, former New York Red Bull, cuts it around Pulisic, who blocks the pass in. Christian Martinez, formerly the Columbus Crew, resets for Murillo. Pulisic blocks that pass in, but it comes back out to Barcenas. Barcenas clipping it in. Fajardo bringing it down. Back out for Murillo. Pulisic, the defender, on the scene.
U.S. doing a great job, again, limiting crosses into the box. It was the main thing, this shifted formation. This time a little space, though, for Martinez.
Martinez cross down off the chest. Fajardo, and, well, that's a tough tackle. It's a penalty. Penalty for Panama. As Fajardo goes down.
Well, it's Carter Vickers who lunges at the ball. The ball was long gone here from Fajardo, and he's smart because he sees Carter Vickers committing. He knows he's going to get there first to that ball. And that ball was out for a goal kick by a mile. I'm not even sure if Carter Vickers gets a touch on it, but he just lunges, and we'll see if he makes contact, enough contact on him for the penalty. No hesitation from Ivan Barton straight away. But Carter Vickers, let's see here. The ball's chested back. Fajardo. Oh, no way.
So here's what's interesting. Tatiana Guzman, the video assistant referee, in the Nations League final in March against Mexico, on the field called a penalty. Anthony Robinson on Jimenez. Tatiana Guzman took the penalty away.
Yeah, look,
because she saw it was a dive.
I'd like to see one more look from that from a different angle, from maybe from behind, but that ball is long gone. And I think even Carter Vickers stops right before making contact with Fajardo, directly before his motion takes it into him. I don't think this is a penalty.
Penalty check officially. As we said, this is a video assistant referee with a ton of high-level experience in both the men's and women's games.
Yeah, he's going to look at it. I hope this is taken away, to be honest.
Yvonne Barton will come to the monitor. Dr. Joe Macknick, busy night for you. What do you think?
Yeah, John, it's very busy, but I had to check first to see if the ball was still on the field, and it was. So, we have certainly the penalty. I think this is being overruled. I think the contact is not really, the guy is jumping over Carter Vickers before the challenge is in. The ball is nowhere near. I'd like to see this overruled, and I think it will be overruled.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dr. Joe. The more I see it, look, he's falling into Carter Vickers. It'd be interesting because I'm just watching Yvonne Barton looking here, trying to see still is. And look, it's a reckless tackle from Carter Vickers, first of all. But I don't like this call as a penalty. Let's see what the decision is.
Well, we should be hearing him on the public address.
Well, he's saying no. We're seeing the sign saying no penalty. His microphone is clearly not working. Goal kick. Yeah, he's saying defender, no contact, drop ball, no penalty. Yeah, right call, absolutely.
The system works.
I know. What I saw was a...
And now his mic's still open as he's talking to Carter Vickers.
Now his microphone's working. He's saying what he thought he saw was contact. And as you said, John, the system rightly working in the way that it should. Clear dive.
Because you understand why in the moment Yvonne Barton thinks that he's seen a penalty.
Yeah. But also, look, and when you see it on replay too, the way the ball comes off the foot of Fajardo, they watching our broadcast there to get a look at the replay.
Hi, guys.
All right, so U.S. narrowly avoiding one point. This game is just getting
on the bingo card here tonight, Stu.
wackier and wackier as it goes on. But look, my last point on this is that Carter Vickers needs to be very careful in these moments. He's a little bit reckless in and around the box. That time he lunges, the one before, just do not give the referee an opportunity to make a call like that or force him into a position where he has to.
And that will be a good chunk of second half stoppage time. For whatever the situation in the game is, it will stretch long past the 90. We play on at 1-1, and the U.S. playing 10v11 here in Atlanta. And what are Uruguay and Bolivia thinking as they're watching this right now ahead of their game at MetLife Stadium? Reina for Pulisic, or Cardoso, in fact, for Pulisic, it was too far. And the U.S. generate any sort of offense as well, playing down a man. Gondola forced to cycle it back. Farina, who forced that one save so far out of Ethan Horvath, on as the halftime sub for the injured Matt Turner. What will Turner's status be from Monday night's game against Uruguay? What sort of a result will the U.S. need in that one? Ethan Horvath has been around this program forever. He was a part of the roster at Copa America Centenario 8 years ago. Didn't see the field, but he's always been there, waiting in the shadows as guys like Zach Steffen and Matt Turner have had the spotlight. This is a huge moment for the 29-year-old from the Denver suburbs to show what he can do for his country. Davis for Gondola. Richards tackles it off him for a U.S. throw.
Yeah, listen to the crowd. It's a recognition from them that what they came and expected to see is not going to happen in the way that we all thought at the beginning of this game. Circumstances, but now an appreciation for tackles like that, the team getting stuck in, and that's the response. That's why you hear them seeing a team that's suffering on the field, that's down a man, that's chasing, but the little moments, the little ways. As Balogun takes a little bit of a kick, he's going to take an extra beat on the ground.
And that was something Jenny Taft was telling us as Greg Berhalter's been trying to absorb the crowd.
It's tough, man. I've been in games like this where you're down a man. You're just doing thankless running from side to side. You're chasing, you're closing down spaces, but you have to maintain focus throughout the entire game, because the moment that you don't get pressure on the ball, you don't go that extra half step, is when your team gets punished. So it truly is man to a man, guys fighting for each other now, and you don't want to let down the guy next to you.
We've always heard, and it was reiterated once again this week, how tight this team is, how close they are, the brotherhood they have. Can it show here? Anthony Robinson able to track it over the shoulder, clears it out for a throw down in the corner. Ricardo Pepi might be incoming. Did everything but score off the bench in Dallas Sunday afternoon. It's also a product of how many chances he might be able to get.
Yeah. You also just need fresh legs and energy to get pressure on the ball.
US can make 2 more substitutions. Rest of the way, Farina goes long. Richards tracking, solid header away, but it comes right to Barcenas. Didn't have any options to his right. Short for Fajardo. Able to turn on it. Pulisic coming from behind. Carter Vickers was alert. Robinson, can the U.S. build with this? Pulisic, round 1. Can he get on the run? Farina waiting for him. Pulisic weaves it inside, cuts it for Balogun. Balogun doesn't have much of an angle. Does he have support for a cross? Does he need it? Oh, it's just wide, and Pulisic was charging as well.
Oh, terrific work. All the way in the back. Carter Vickers, the first pass out of pressure to Robinson, finds Pulisic. Look at the defenders he takes out. Balogun is onside. 5 defenders can't get the ball off of Pulisic. Balogun cuts back, tries to bend it to that back post, and just misses. But that chance has brought this crowd back to life again. Everybody on their feet chanting USA right now.
First shot of the second half for the U.S. with 20 minutes to go. Pepe waiting to come on. Carter Vickers did just enough, and he was fouled in so doing by Fajardo. And here comes the change. And Flo Balogun, listen, what a terrific goal that he scored in the first half to give the U.S. a brief lead, but give them parity right now at 1-1 more significantly.
Yeah, fantastic finish. Best goal I've seen from him in a U.S. shirt. He gets a standing O. thought a really solid game from Balogun, truly. Down to man, get a goal, but the dirty work you have to do as a striker in certain games. So big battle for that number 9 shirt. He started the first 2 games, and he's been performing.
Scally got to it to keep it in play. Did it take a touch off the defender? No, it is out for a goal kick. As we're inside of 20 minutes to go, and the tension builds here in front of a terrific pro-U.S. crowd here in Atlanta. Carrasquilla coming forward, cut off. And Panama preparing a sub in the wings. So they try to find a way through. They're in desperate need of a win, really. Farina. Robinson couldn't get there, neither could Ream. Comes out to Murillo. U.S. scrambling a bit. Murillo's cross into the middle. Richards up to get it. Barcenas played it right back inside. Pulisic for Pepe's first touch. Tackled off it. U.S. wants a foul they're not going to get. Carrasquilla was down as well. Robinson comes charging out and backs off for the last moment. Pass gets nutmegged into Barcenas. The return. Murillo. Horvath's second save.
A little too aggressive on the outside there. Anthony Robinson comes charging out. That left a little nutmeg and then a clever ball back here from Barcenas to find the run from Murillo. Weston McKennie doing well just to get his body in the way that time and get close enough to Murillo so he couldn't really swing his foot all the way through it. That's how it ended up going through his legs. Comfortable save for Horvath. Here's Pulisic.
Picks it up, trying to lift it over for Pepe. Couldn't do so. Brings it back down over the chest. Hops his way out of there. Wide it comes to Anthony Robinson. U.S. got some targets in. Robinson crossing up too far. Mosquera there to get it.
Yeah, some frustration there, especially Pulisic once that ball goes wide. And Robinson rarely called his name in the second half in the attacking part of the field. I can see what he's trying to do to shape it, to clip it to the back post, but cut underneath it too high makes it very easy in the end for Mosquera to come out. It's just a bit of decision making. Also, it's just some really heavy legs.
Fajardo working on Carter Vickers, knocks it sideways, and if it was off Carter Vickers, it was not deliberate. It might have been off Fajardo in the end. Horvath able to pick it up. And he'll take some time. The U.S. has been reduced to 10 men since the 18th minute of the game. Tim Way, a red card, originally shown a yellow on the field. VAR showed that he struck out at Roderick Miller of Panama as Pulisic is tripped up and goes down. A tired U.S. team, down a man ever since. Christian Martinez's night is done. Third sub for Panama coming out.
That's one of those thank you very much fouls from a U.S. perspective. There's Martinez, I think, showing a bit of frustration as well. That tackle shows me that Panama are frustrated, that they're the inability right now to break down this U.S. defense. U.S. hanging tough, closing down passing lanes. Had a couple of moments where they've actually been able to break the pressure. A lot of that has been Pulisic, his just ability to dribble 1v1, break away, be shifty, draw contact. They've been trying not to foul him, and that occasion they did. And a very high line here again from Panama, leaving a lot of space in behind for the U.S. to attack. If Pulisic can drop it in. McKennie's starting in an offside position. He's going to try and drop in line as this ball is hit.
Pulisic can't get enough on it. Now they got to scramble. Barcenas picks it up, trying to release it long. Horvath all the way out. Scally got to get there in time. Nervy little moments like that. And both coaches shaking their heads right now. Maybe you heard it at home. Just shy of 60,000 fans here in Atlanta, braving the traffic from all the highway and surface street closures for the presidential debate, which comes up later here tonight. They had to work hard to get into this building this evening, and they have been treated to something memorable. There's Matt Turner on the bench, concerned about his longer-term status with the injury that he took in the first half. Came off at halftime, officially a leg contusion. Banged up his shoulder as well, for that matter. And Ethan Horvath has made 2 saves since coming on.
I saw Yunus Musa there getting some instructions from Greg Berhalter as well. Let's see who he ends up deciding is going to enter this game for the U.S. 14 plus, probably a lengthy stoppage.
A U.S. win gives them a chance to advance with the game to go. A U.S. loss puts them in desperate situation going into Monday night's game against Uruguay. A draw, pretty good, all things considered. Still work to be done Monday. Pepe steps in, intercept. Robinson picks it up. Into the middle for McKennie. Pepe offside. Pulisic couldn't do anything with it, but the U.S. gets a throw. And the difference for the U.S. is if they do get this draw, they would need only a draw against Uruguay to advance. Even if Panama beat Bolivia, they would still be 1 point better. We don't have to worry about goal differential, anything like that. If the U.S. lose, they probably got to beat Uruguay Monday night. That's, of course, making assumptions on what happens later tonight on FS2 at MetLife Stadium. But that's the significance of the final 15 plus whatever else. Should be a significant amount of stoppage time after the long VR review that took away what Panama thought was going to be a penalty kick midway through this second half.
This is also what makes tournaments so fun, right? You're
is
not
this
just
fun?
playing.
Are you having
no,
fun right
I'm not
now?
having fun. I'm suffering with every pass. But, you know, the tournament format is that it's not about always just... This game is very important for them to get a point. But you're thinking about, look, we don't have to go all out and win this game. You're thinking about 3 games and survive and advance. The most important part is getting to the knockouts, and then you go.
Skia clips it up, no one there in red. And you get why goalkeepers do that. They take the touch, it wastes maybe an extra second, but for the amount of aggravation that it gives everyone else in those moments, just in case something does go wrong. And the other half of Group C playing later tonight at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Uruguay-Bolivia, it's up on FS2. Uruguay would advance with a win over Bolivia if this finishes a draw. But again, if this finishes a draw, the U.S. more than likely would only need that draw against Uruguay to advance. A lot can change in the next little bit. McKennie able to bring that down. They were backing off, and that gave him the space. He hands it off to Scally. McKennie's going to make a run forward. Scally comes inside to Cardoso. Pulisic being chased around, able to keep it. He's trying to find Scally back door. Will it sit up for him on the byline? No, they run out of space.
Nice idea. Nice idea, first of all, from Scally to then make that run as we look back at that goal from Balogun. My goodness, how sweet did he just hit that? To be able to turn and pivot and hit the ball like that, really from flat-footed, to generate the power. And then this is Panama's equalizer, which came just a matter of minutes after the U.S. goal. Blackman puts it in, and that's where we've been deadlocked.
3:36 officially between the goals. Carrasquilla trying to move it quick. Fajardo trying to let it run for Barcenas. Carter Vickers, important tackle. Wide it comes to Murillo. Anthony Robinson out to meet him. Cross in. Tim Ream stooping low to head it out. Interesting to see what, if any, subs the U.S. does elect to make late on. And they have the one available. They've got players warming up. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go here in Atlanta, and it should be a pretty healthy number because of the VAR review that took away the Panama penalty kick. Mourinho wide for Murillo. You talked about just how exhausting this is for the U.S. players just to move and shift, and then they have to have something left in the lungs for the moments when they have the ball.
Pepe's
Pepe
open
wants
here.
it long, and it comes from Robinson. He flicks it along. Weston McKennie running forward. It's a heavy first touch. He gets back to it. McKennie, can he get around the corner, get a cross in? Pepe right at Mosquera. And here come Panama the other way. Into the middle for Carrasquilla.
Look at the run back. You're going to see McKennie coming into your screen right now.
Into the middle, Ayarza.
Oh, so close. What a great break from the U.S. and Weston McKennie. First of all, the long ball from Robinson, the energy and the awareness from Pepe to flick this one on, and then look how he turns the corner. But as he stands this one up, he's onside. Just watch how the ball's just a touch too high. He has to take a step backwards, and he can't generate the power there to get enough on the header. In hindsight, of course, I think Pepe would have been better served taking a touch there, maybe on the chest. So hard to head that one the way in which that ball just floated a touch that he had to take 2 steps back. So hard to really head that with enough force to take it past Mosquera off of the back of what was a great move from the U.S.
Second save tonight for Mosquera. U.S. thought that was their throw. It was very clearly off Pepe, and Ream gets nutmeg. Anthony Robinson, his teammate the last 4 years at Fulham, there to help him out. Great relationship those two have. Pulisic knocked off the ball. Barcenas gets it away. Ayarza, good tackle by Anthony Robinson. McKennie stabs it away from Karaskia, but not fully cleared. Murillo space and time for a cross. Lifts it in. Horvath scrambling. Scally up in the air. Bit of a shove there. It's going to be brought down. Karaskia wants it. It's McKennie who sweeps it out. Miller trying to reset. Almost played it out. Davis crossing in. Horvath could have come to get it. Robinson only as far as Barcenas. Pulisic defending him. Barcenas blocked by Ream. Held his position. Karaskia holds it in. Gets it back. Karaskia looking for space. Clips it back door for Murillo. Murillo lobs it up in the air. Robinson got to be careful. It's knocked away by Ayarza. Hooks it back in the middle. It did. Panama score. The pressure finally breaks through. And it's Jose Fajardo that's given Panama the lead with 7 minutes to go.
The U.S. laying everything on the line here, trying to stop crosses, chance after chance, bodies blocking shots, and at the end, it was patience from Panama. Murillo is onside as this ball is hit, first of all, and then this second one, you're right, Robinson didn't want to make a challenge for him, maybe on a foul, but good awareness as the ball's just squared back across here. Fajardo gets across that near post, and it's a good finish. Look how he takes that. On the half bounce there as it just pops up, he takes it, arrives, good contact, and it's so close to Horvath. He's there, gets a hand on it, but it's just hit with so much power in the back of the net off of what I was just about to say. Boy, the U.S. were defending with their lives to that last couple of minutes. But eventually, Fajardo and Panama find a way through. Now, I wonder if the U.S. start pushing here to try to get a goal. Looks like, yeah, it's changed this up. Josh Sargent's going to come in now, it looks like.
Well, the U.S. now goes
though,
from defending with their lives to fighting for their lives. Potentially this Copa America, if they lose this game, they might have to beat 15-time champion Uruguay Monday night to advance. And they're still trying to get this goal back, down a man. Josh Sargent is preparing to come on.
Just the swings of this game, right? The U.S. comes so close through Pepe, down the other end.
It's a reflection of the Ecuador-Venezuela game from the other night, that the U.S. actually took the lead after the red card and now trailing 2-1. That was the Venezuela result against Ecuador. Can the U.S. find a late goal somehow? Can they find the ball? They're exhausted. They're down a man. Greg Berhalter urging him forward. Josh Sargent ready to come on. Should be a healthy amount of stoppage time. Mosquera with 2 saves tonight, goes long. And Ream able to shepherd it out. And it will be Tim Ream's last activity of the night.
Yeah, defender off, striker on. Time to push.
Last sub of the game, and a player that, by all accounts, has looked terrific in training. Josh Sargent has been dealing with a foot injury all spring.
Foul here, John. I would use this as a chance to bring some bodies up for the U.S. and drive a long, deep ball here into the box. It looks like that's what they're going to do. Interested who's going to take it, Pulisic. So this is, you're not trying to bend this one in. There should be a long driven ball towards the back post where they've got the stacked bodies, and you need runners on the second ball. I hope one of these guys can win that first one.
Sargent on the field for the first time since the World Cup in Qatar for the U.S. Scramble the bodies. Sargent almost got on the end of that one. Barcenas picks it up. How can the U.S. defend these moments? 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Gondola out there. Numbers flooding forward for Panama. Gondola on Johnny Cardoso, crossing all the way through, and a let off for the U.S. U.S. out of subs. They've been playing with 10 men since the 18th minute. Thomas Christensen trying to lead Panama to a historic win, just their third all-time against the United States in 27 meetings, but also a chance for a historic achievement to advance out of the group come Monday night. Head tennis now. McKenny wins it over Karski. A Sargent his first touch. Put it behind Scally. Draws contact, free kick U.S. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Oh, wow.
And then Karski just chops down Pulisic. He's set off. Now Pulisic came in with the body on Karski.
Well, Pulisic needs to be careful too.
That'll be reviewed by VAR, but Karski is sent off. And this will be more stoppage time coming.
Uh-oh. Bartone's coming Pulisic's way. And he's saying, my goodness. Cynical tackle, first of all, from Karski. Just absolutely kicks out at Pulisic as the U.S. played a really quick free kick there. Yeah, that's a red card, 100%. Excellent refereeing. Ivan Bartone was straight on that. Look at that, man. And then Pulisic jumps up. We're going to get a look at his response after that play, too. Furious. So I don't think there's enough in that for a red card. He throws his shoulder into him. I think he might have gotten a yellow card for that had Ivan Bartone seen it. We're going to get Chris Richards is going to pick up a yellow for standing up for his teammate. My goodness, what a sequence. This game has been bonkers.
15th foul called against Panama tonight. The U.S. just with 3 fouls. That's our second red card. And Tatiana Guzman, the video assistant referee, having a look to see if there's anything else that needs to be dished out.
I don't know why Karski is still hanging out and waiting. That's 100% a red card.
And this will be yet more stoppage time added here in Atlanta. So the Houston Dynamos, Alberto Karski has leveled the scales from a player's perspective. Can it lead the U.S. to level the scales on the scoreboard in the final seconds?
This ball right here from Pulisic, just wait now. Anthony Robinson came over to talk to Greg Berhalter, and Robinson ran back straight to Pulisic to give him some type of instruction here on this set piece.
Remember, this is a point of emphasis. They have an assistant coach specifically for set pieces. They've been spending a lot of time on this. It's been a concern for Panama. A lot of goals given up in the last year from set pieces. U.S. thought they had one early.
And this ball requires just a delicate ball in behind, right around the penalty spot.
Here it comes. Pulisic just trying to drift that one in. Doesn't find a player in a U.S. shirt. 4 minutes, which seems a low number, is the number up. U.S. got to be careful on the other end. Pulisic all the way back. Clips it forward. Sargent was trying to get himself back onside. That's a dangerous clearance by Murillo. Cardoso couldn't get there in time to the loose ball. Clever touch by Farinha. He plays into space. Should be an offside flag coming. Now it does, and that is the assistant referee, David Moran, doing what he's supposed to do, hold his flag in case there's an imminent goal-scoring chance. But that clock continues to tick. 3.5 minutes at a minimum. The U.S. trying to get a goal, which would mean they would only require a draw Monday against Uruguay to advance. As it stands, they probably got to beat one of the best teams in South America at Arrowhead Stadium to move on. Ethan Horvath, the halftime sub for the injured Matt Turner, lifts it long. All the U.S. players out jump. Fajardo, the game-winning goal scorer, as it stands, gets to the loose ball first. And Edgar Barson is just going to run for daylight here and stick this ball in the corner.
Yeah. Just trying to waste time.
Anthony Robinson on a yellow card. Got to be smart how he deals with it. Pepe back to help. U.S. has the ball. Can they get it forward? Pulisic now. Doesn't really have a great option to pass to, and it's intercepted. Robinson steps through. He's got it. Now can the U.S. go? Robinson's chopped down. Yellow card shown.
Look, it's from a U.S. perspective, you hate to see it, but that's a smart tactical foul. Farina knows that Robinson was gone, and he had a runner to his left, and he just chops him down. Not in the same way that Carrasquilla did, but tactical foul, whatever you want to call it, he stops a counterattack. So it's a smart play from Panama.
U.S. saved themselves with pretty much the last kick against Jamaica in March. They got an own goal late on. Can they have a similar type of heroics here? It has been done. Can they do it again? 2 minutes at a minimum to go.
I'd be thinking almost about getting this to Robinson. Yeah, there you go.
From Horvath, Robinson lifts the cross in. Richards nods it sideways. McKennie first to the loose ball, and then he's fouled. And a free kick coming in a better position. And Gondola gets a yellow.
Yeah, look, this is exactly the game we expected. Not the red card at the beginning for the U.S., but that we thought Panama would play. And they've just made it pure nasty now the last 10 minutes. It's all about winning for them. Bad tackle, though, I have to say, from Gondola to give that one away, because look at the set piece, and here comes Ethan Horvath.
Goalkeeper
so
up.
Everybody up. But what a great spot for a delivery. Requires a great ball in. The last one was not good enough from Pulisic. Game's on the line here, a chance to equalize it. Everybody up.
59,000 on their feet. Ethan Horvath is up there to try to give the U.S. an extra body. Christian Pulisic stands over it. Pulisic deep to the back post. Richards got up to it. Couldn't get it down.
Oh, he had a great jump. Chris Richards, who had the header in the first half that was saved onto the post. He rises up here, and I think he ends up on the back of one of his teammates. The ball was at a nice height this time from Pulisic. All you can ask in this situation is to give somebody a chance to attack it. Boy, that might be the last chance for the United States. Here it is. Ball comes in. It's bending towards that back post. Chris Richards has a good leap. He almost jumps too early. He's catching it on his downward trajectory there. And he's so much so that he's just trying to guide it instead of being able to really head that one down and into the ground.
U.S. is running out of seconds here to get this ball, to get it upfield, to create a goal-scoring chance. That's not going to work from Anthony Robinson right at Barcenas. And now they're going to chase to get this thing back. Barcenas just going to weave his way through. Sargent fouls him.
That should be it.
The hope coming into the night was the U.S. could win and not even have to worry about Monday's game against Uruguay. They are now more than likely going to have to beat the 15-time Copa America champions at Arrowhead Stadium Monday night. They have been beaten tonight here in Atlanta. Panama coming from behind after the 18th minute Tim Weah red card and a U.S. lead that lasted 3 minutes 36 seconds. Pending Bolivia doing the U.S. a huge favor by pulling off a shocking result later tonight in New York. Let's send you back to Rob Stone in Los Angeles as it finishes. Panama 2, the United States 1.
John Stu, thank you. Copa America 2024 tonight here on Fox is presented by Geico. A lot to get to here in the post-game show. The U.S. playing a much of this match a man down against Panama. There's your winning strike. Jose Fajardo in the 83rd minute off of Ethan Horvath's hands. His 12th international goal, giving Panama the difference maker. They get the upset over the 11th ranked team in the world, the United States, 2-1. You go back to day 3, Ecuador. Remember, they went down a man, took a lead, ended up losing it 2-1 to Venezuela. Same story tonight in Atlanta. The U.S. goes down a man, takes the lead, and then gives it up. So much to talk about. We're going to get plenty of reaction from the manager, Greg Berhalter, and the players as soon as we can. Rob Stone, Clint Dempsey, Carly Lloyd, Alexi Lawless. Lex, your takeaways right now from this loss?
I mean, this one hurts, obviously. But there's a strange part of me that said, you know what? All chips in, all right? We talked so much about this tournament being an assessment of this team, an assessment of head coach Greg Berhalter relative to getting out of the group and playing against the likes of Colombia and Brazil. Well, you know what? That challenge and that assessment and that ultimate assessment is now going to happen in the third game against Uruguay. And they better be up for it. Because if they do not go through, Greg Berhalter is going to lose his job. and rightfully and fairly so. But this is a situation that this team, including Greg Berhalter, have created for themselves. Now, find a way to get out of it.
United States, Uruguay in Kansas City, Monday, July 1st, live on FS1. Clint, this was a tough watch, and that red card to Timothy Weah changed the face of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in shock right now. I can't believe this. Yeah, you get that red card, you know it's going to be a tough game for you. Then you have the best situation possible in terms of getting that goal, but then you give it right back 4 or 5 minutes later. So it's just not good enough. The team, didn't get the job done, and I'm lost for words. I'm in shock. You shouldn't be losing this game.
Even though you were a man down for a majority of that game.
No, especially when you got the goal that got you the lead, sit back, close up shop, see out the next 10 to 15 minutes, make sure you don't concede. They conceded 4 minutes after going up. It's just, can't do that. And the way in which we conceded.
Yeah, and I just think that this was a series of things that just started to unravel and fall. Like everything was going wrong. Everything imaginable went wrong, and it started with the red card. And, when you're going into a game like this, you both know, you're playing Panama. They're going to come out and they're going to try to frustrate. They're going to be physical. They're going to want to try to get you out of your game. And this is just, you cannot let this happen. This is just purely unacceptable, letting the team down. And I just think to dig yourself out of that, it just was really, really difficult.
That was the big flash moment. But remember, there were 2 moments before this which had a major impact on the game. Weston McKennie, we thought the U.S. had an early goal, 5th minute. VAR correctly pulled that one back. Matt Turner gets just crashed in the 12th minute. He's subbed out at the half. Horvath comes in. The big talking point, though, for U.S. soccer fans, and it's been going on all summer long, is Greg Berhalter's job status. This is the U.S.'s test prior to the 2026 World Cup. And the conventional thought out there, Lex, was if Greg Berhalter does not get his team out of the knockout stage, that there's plenty of reason out there for U.S. soccer to say we need to make a move. The harsh reality is this red card changed the face of this game, which very well may end up, not yet, may end up causing the U.S. to crash out at the group stage. Let's just talk about today, okay? How did Greg Berhalter manage this game, in your estimation, at the red card and beyond?
Look, I like the substitutions that he made, the changes that he made, both in personnel and in formation, and in trying to do something with the recognition that a point would have been okay. Wasn't the greatest result, but given what had happened, you take the point. And if Greg Berhalter is such a good coach, if all of this generation, this quote-unquote golden generation playing at the highest level, talent-wise, the likes of which we haven't seen before, every team, whether it's national team or club team, and every player at some point has gone through a situation where there's a red card, and you adjust. And maybe soccer, more than anything, you have the ability to adjust. I think there were good adjustments. I don't think that there were great adjustments. And at the very least, this version of the U.S. men's national team should have been able to come out with a point. They didn't. They created the situation. They have nobody else but themselves to blame. And if they don't get themselves out, there are going to be changes, and rightfully so. And again, there's a little piece of me that said, fine, let's do it. If we're really going to do it and put the feet to the fire, awesome. Here it comes. We thought it was going to come later. It's going to come now. So tune into that game.
I mean, for me, 2 things. I'm surprised not to see Musa. I thought he would have came on and made a big difference. He's at the press conference. We talked about before the game, players that you would like to see in there, especially in a dogfight. For me, Musa is that guy. And at the same time, I thought Balogun was still showing you signs of he could still be a threat on that counter. He didn't look like he was tired. He still looked like he was running. He still looked like he was dangerous. So for me, I'd have given him a little bit more time. And the goal that they scored, I like Ethan. He's a good guy. He's come up big for us before. But
save the ball, man.
You got to save that.
The ball. Anthony Robinson was awesome today.
Again, second straight game.
Awesome.
A lot to digest. And by the way, the U.S. still sitting in second place as we take a look at this goal, Carly. And this is a beautiful one-time finish.
Oh, I mean, this is just a really difficult, first of all, difficult cross, and then a difficult ball to strike on the goal. But
someone should have been on him.
You got to step in front.
Someone's got to be tighter to him, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Vickers lost his man. Keeper should have made the save.
That ball was dropped in the midst of 3 U.S. defenders. And a lot of goalkeepers will say if you can get your hand on it, you should be able to make the save. It came at a rapid rate. It was a bang-bang play, but Ethan Horvath coming in for Matt Turner, unable to make that sub in the second half. So the U.S. playing with 10 men against Panama, unable to get anything out of it. They fall despite this wonderful strike from Florian Balogun in the 22nd minute, which gave the U.S. that 1-0 lead, but Panama responded 4 minutes later and then tacked one on late in the second half. Tomorrow, 2 more games coming away from Copa America. We begin our coverage on FS1. Colombia, Costa Rica, and then Brazil, who were held scoreless to Costa Rica earlier this week in L.A. They have Paraguay. What will Vinny Jr. and the Samba Kings have for us tomorrow? Plenty more to go, and we still have one more game to go tonight from Group C, from the shadows of the Empire State Building and Statue of Liberty. Uruguay, Bolivia, still to come later tonight on FS2.
Nobody brings you the excitement of Formula One racing like Sirius XM. Let's go, come on! Hear every thrilling lap of a worldwide championship chase.
Verstappen takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and Hamilton couldn't hold him off.
Plus, comprehensive pre- and post-race coverage.
That was the best race I've ever seen.
The 2024 season rolls on Sunday morning at the Austrian Grand Prix. Our live coverage begins at 8 Eastern with Lights Out Racing at 9 Eastern on ESPN Extra, Channel 81, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
In the game of life, every point matters, especially when it comes to your loved ones. Score big for your family by securing life insurance with SelectQuote. Their team of experienced licensed insurance agents can help you find the right policy at the right price in just minutes. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote can help you score big on affordable coverage. Don't let the clock run out on your chance to protect your family's future.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-463-9797. That's 1-800-463-9797. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-463-9797. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? I know, it feels like a bad word, but it isn't. It's normal for DEBT to happen, and a SoFi personal loan could help you handle it. A SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your debt into one low fixed monthly payment. You can get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. There's even 0 fees required, so you can avoid dealing with prepayment and late fees. Debt doesn't have to be a dirty word anymore. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt, and a SoFi personal loan could be your way out. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid off. That's SoFi.com/PAIDOFF. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid off. NMLS 696891.
Transform your environment and melt into music channels curated to calm. Fade into the lo-fi haze of chill hop or lose yourself in the electronic ambiance of tranquil. Explore these channels and more across Sirius XM and in the Sirius XM app.
From Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran
It's just you and me.
to Zach Bryan,
Where the hell am I supposed to go?
Phoebe Bridgers, Noah Kahan, and beyond. The Coffee House serves up the singer-songwriters reshaping the sound of this moment, alongside stripped-down classics and acoustic covers.
You got a fast car.
Drop into the Coffee House, Channel 3, and the Sirius XM app.
CONMEBOL Copa America 2024 is sponsored by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Massive moment early in the first half between the U.S. and Panama. Tim Weah, red card in the 18th minute. The U.S. drops their second game 2-1. Here's Flo Balogun.
What is your reaction to the result?
Yeah, huge disappointment. I think you could see by our reaction. We felt there was a few things that went against us. Of course, the red card, but we felt we could have had a few decisions. But that's the nature of the game. We just have to recover and prepare for the next game. It's going to be an important one.
We expected physicality, but in so many ways, it seemed to go to another level. How would you describe it out there?
Yeah, I thought towards the end it got a bit silly. I mean, it's obviously the referee's job to manage the match. And I mean, you can't control that, but I didn't think the way the game was finished was in a professional manner.
It's a quick turnaround before Uruguay, a must-win situation. Where do you guys go from here?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be an important game. I mean, we was never going to take it lightly, but obviously there's no hiding, there's more emphasis on it. So, as I said, we have to prepare and we have to make sure we go into that game and get the result.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Jenny Taft, thank you. For Christian Pulisic and the U.S., their fate will come down to the final game of the group stage on Monday. The Summer of Stars continues next with one of the Copa frontrunners in action, Uruguay.
Party people! Feel the energy of 8 decades of hits.
You're unbelievable.
That made summer even hotter.
It's getting hot in here. So hot.
The Billboard Top 500 Summer Hits Countdown. For a limited time, starting Saturday on Channel 105. And all summer long on the SiriusXM app. Just search Summer Sounds.
More isn't necessarily better. At CrowdStrike, we understand that a holistic cybersecurity approach is the only way to protect your business from active real-time threats. Which is why we created our data-centric platform to have one agent, one console, and one integrated workflow to focus on our one mission: stop breaches. When a cyber attack hits, who do you want powering your defense? CrowdStrike, we stop breaches.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/game. Ramp.com/game. RAMP.com/game.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The newest research, the latest prescriptions, vaccines, and treatments, and how to get the care you need for yourself and for your family. Dr. Radio, with specialists in everything from cardiology, oncology, and men's and women's health, to psychology, the ER, and more. Dr. Radio has the world's top doctors on call for you. Channel 110.
Hey, it's Andy Richter, here to tell you about the Andy Richter Call-In Show. Each week, I'll be inviting callers to weigh in on important questions like, have you ever seen a ghost? What's the worst job you've ever had? What's the worst date you've ever been on? Along the way, I'll be joined by my favorite comedians and friends. Check out the Andy Richter Call-In Show. New episodes each Wednesday at 4 p.m. East and West, with replays throughout the week on Conan O'Brien Radio. The show will also be available on demand in the SiriusXM app whenever you want. Just search Andy Richter.
Copa America 2024 tonight on Fox is presented by Geico.
Frustration for the States throughout a game that featured 5 yellow cards and 2 reds. The end result, a 2-1 loss to Panama. Here's Tyler Adams with our Jenny Taft.
Well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming out. And it's hard to even describe the emotion of the ups and downs of that match. When you think of the physicality and the ultimate result, what comes to mind? You were just in the locker room. What's been said?
What hasn't been said. Emotional roller coaster, like you said, but we said that's soccer at the end of the day. We know what we signed up for in playing at Copa America. We knew it was going to be a fight. Credit to Panama. They did their job. They got the result. Obviously, I think moving forward, we need to control our emotions in certain situations. I think the team fought for everything after we got the red card. You definitely can't fault the effort. But yeah, by winning the first game, we put ourselves still in a position that we can have all to play for in the last game.
Did Tim Weah say anything to the group and you guys all got in there?
Yeah, I mean, you never mean to get a red card. Under no circumstances. He's not that type of person. He apologized to the team, and again, just respect to the rest of the team, because they fought for every single ball, every single duel, every single minute, and we still created chances after going down to 10 men, so it shows our quality. So again, all to play for in the last game.
What hasn't been said? That line really jumped out at me. That must have been an awfully interesting post-game locker room. We'll continue to get more sound from the USS. They fall 2-1 to Panama. The States, they came into this game against their regional rival Panama, sitting on 3 points after that opening shutout win over Bolivia. And a victory would all but assure a quarterfinal berth. And it was as chaotic of an opening 26 minutes as we have seen in just about anything in life. Lexi's stunt double was there to take it in, and things got going here for the States in the 5th minute.
It looked like we were going to get off to a flying start. A goal from another set piece. Chris Richards off the post, and then Wes McKinney falls right to him. VAR, it was going to be disallowed. It looked like Tim Ream was in an offside position, and as the ball hits off the post, he impacted play, which led to the McKinney goal. So
yeah, Ream played it back to McKinney, so we pulled that one back, and then this wicked collision in the 12th minute.
Yeah, this was just really unfortunate with Turner just getting absolutely slammed by that Panamanian player. He was okay after that.
All right, well, we heard Tyler Adams say what hasn't been said. Well, evidently what hadn't been said was don't hit the opponent in the head. This is just a dumb play. And Tyler Adams said that you never mean to get a red card. Yeah, you did. Maybe you didn't want one, but you do that, you're going to get a red card. Just ridiculous and completely changed the complexion of the game.
I know you get the red card, but you couldn't ask for a better situation after that than to respond like this. And what a goal from Balogun. World-class left foot, second goal in 2 games. And look, all you need to do is sit back. See out these next 15 minutes, see out the half, put more pressure on them. But what a finish here.
That was his 5th international goal in 14 U.S. games, but Panama responding just 4 minutes later.
Yeah, this is what you don't want. Like you said, Clint, they had him there. All they had to do was be smart. And Blackman here gets a shot, scores left-hand corner. I feel like that could have been blocked.
Nobody's on him. You let him get in the pocket, get on the half turn.
Here, turn in. Panama 1-1.
So 1-1 at the break to start the second half. Greg Berhalter made 3 subs, including taking out Matt Turner and bringing in Ethan Horvath.
And he put in Cameron Carter-Vickers, who will find on this play deciding to leave his feet and come nowhere near the ball. Now, he's saved by VAR, even though in the moment it's called a penalty. Everyone's screaming and yelling no. He went and looked and said, all right. Didn't get the man. Still a very, very risky.
There was also another play where you got Meg that was supposed to be in another penalty shout.
And great work here from Weston McKinney in the 81st minute.
Yeah, what a run from McKinney and Pepe. Here's your chance. You've got brought on, and it just looked like he couldn't get any power on it. It's either you try to go low near post or you try to float it to the far post, and wasn't able to do either.
And again, the U.S., just got to be smart, hold them here, can't get scored on, and Fiarda right here scores. Horvath, I'm not a goalkeeper, but that looks savable to me.
You don't have to be a goalkeeper.
But also for me, Vickers could have slid over and made that more difficult on the forward there.
And then Pulisic taking an ugly red card here.
Yep.
This is a no-brainer. Look at the fire in his eyes as he comes bouncing back up, slams in.
Yeah, Karaskia gets the red. Clear red. Plenty of fire, but too little too late ultimately for Christian Pulisic and company tonight.
And what I'll say about Panama is they made some smart fouls. You look at the fouls in this game, we only had 4, they had 18. When they needed to make the right foul, they did, when it could have opened up the game for us. So credit to them. They fought hard, they put in a great performance, and the coach made good decisions. Blackman comes on, and scored the goal, replacing to start the game. And then you have Fajardo is the sub that he makes in the second half to get you the other one.
So despite the loss, the United States currently sitting in second place. Again, 3 nations on 3 points. The U.S. with a better goal difference against Panama. But remember, on Monday, Panama has Bolivia, the team that the U.S. put 2 on is widely considered to be the weakest in this group, and Bolivia still has Uruguay to play tonight. That one live on FS2. We'll know much more about the U.S.'s stature and the points and the things that need to happen on Monday in Kansas City after the Uruguay game, which is coming up in moments on FS2. Regardless, the message to Kansas City: get your red, white, and blue gear on and get on out there and support your U.S. team, because they are going to need it. So many talking points to hit right now. Let's start with Lex, the guy who was the talking point in Game 1. Christian Pulisic has kind of changed his demeanor on and off the field. What did you make of his performance here in the second game of the Copa America?
You know, even before the game fundamentally changed with the red card, I thought he was quiet. It doesn't mean that he can't be effective or that he wasn't effective, and sometimes he grows into the game. You know, I think ultimately this type of game didn't quite suit him. I'm not unhappy with the way Christian Pulisic played, and once the red card came, it's the best laid plans, right? So those get kind of thrown out the window, and you have to start from scratch in a very, very different type of playbook that sometimes isn't the best for Christian Pulisic. And rare did he got out in open space where we kind of like to see him, and they hacked him down. But Christian Pulisic, he understands this. This is going to happen. And to Clint's point, Panama was very, very, quote-unquote, smart in the way that they fouled.
Carly, you talked about some of the players that needed to step up. Weston McKennie did not have a strong Game 1. Ditto for Gio Reyna. Reyna subbed out at the half. What did you think of their 2 performances tonight?
I mean, I think it's so difficult to go off of because you're going a man down so early. You've got to change formations. You've got to change the way that you're going to attack. I think, Weston had that good run and that cross to Pepe. But I just feel like this is a very difficult game to judge Berhalter, to judge the team, because there were so many things that went wrong. And I don't know, I'm going to use an odd analogy, but it's like a bad relationship. Like it doesn't just happen. Your relationship doesn't just fail off of, one fight or one bad game. I mean, this has been a compilation of just things and series that have just continued to go on. And my biggest question is, what is it? Like, what is happening? And the red card doesn't help, but they still let this game out of their hands.
A lot of times those end in divorces, right? And you go your separate ways, and you hope that whoever the next person is in a better situation or gives you a better situation here. But there is time, to use your analogy, for reconciliation. There is time for Greg Berhalter, and his back's against the wall, and this team's back's against the wall, and his future is at stake. So I'm excited to see it, to be quite honest.
I mean, to Lexi's point, man, all you can do is control what you can control. And we didn't get the job done today, but we got a chance against Uruguay. And all we can do is go out there and beat them by as many that we can beat them by for help goal differential. But still at the same time, that doesn't mean that's going to get you through. So if we don't get out of the group, to his point, it might be a divorce.
They've been talking about getting over that hump by taking down the quote-unquote big boys of international soccer. Guess what, U.S.? You have that on Monday with Uruguay next on the field. Second game tonight here on Day 8 features those 15-time champs from Uruguay. They've reached the knockout stage at 8 of the last 9 Copas. They could move on today. They have Bolivia on FS2.
This is the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Mikal Bridges goes to the Knicks. There's no room for anybody else, Mike. If you didn't go to Villanova, you are off the team. OG Anunoby, gone. Julius Randle, gone. You go to Villanova, you're on the Knicks. You do not go to Villanova, you're not a Knick.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon on Fox Sports Sirius XM Channel 83 and the Sirius XM app.
At Best Western, we can't promise you the perfect trip to the game. We can't promise a warm, sunny day. Just like we can't promise that the other team's mascot won't insult your team mercilessly. Then again, you don't have to listen to anything that a talking bird says. But we can promise you this. You can find a warm welcome and a comfortable room after a long day at the ballpark. Now that's a win. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The biggest sporting events happen on SiriusXM Sports. Find out what channel your team is playing on by going to SiriusXM.com/sports.
SiriusXM Radio.
Here's what's happening on SiriusXM Sports.
History was made in the second round of the NBA draft on Thursday with the Los Angeles Lakers selection of Bronny James, teaming him up with his father LeBron. They're set to become the first ever active father-son duo in NBA history. SiriusXM NBA Radio has conversation and reaction on Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here.
Copa America 2024 tonight is sponsored by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico.
Right now, you are looking at a live shot from Atlanta, the 2024 presidential debate coming up live next here on Fox. Flo Balogun put the 10-man U.S. into the lead with his fifth international strike of his career. Jose Fajardo got the game winner, though, in the 83rd minute for Panama. 2-1, the Canal Men get the W for Christian Pulisic and the U.S. It's going to all come down to their final game of the group stage. You can see it live on FS1 on Monday. USA against 15-time Copa champs Uruguay.
Greg Berhalter, the head coach, and this team just pushed all their chips in on Uruguay. And Greg Berhalter's future as the coach of this team depends on their performance.
They all have to show up. There's no excuses. They need to play a near perfect game this next match.
I mean, it's a must-win game. Go out there, control what you can control. You talk about running through a brick wall for this coach. Well, let's see.
We've been hearing so much how these players love Greg Berhalter. Put up,
prove it,
or shut up.
Prove it
on
Bring
Monday.
it on, man.
And the U.S. is going to know a lot more about what they need to accomplish on Monday once they see our next game over on FS2. Again, Uruguay and Bolivia coming up next there. If you want to see more Copa America soccer, head on over to FS2. We'll be there for you to get you ready for Bolivia and Uruguay. Coming up next year, though, on Fox, it is the presidential debate. A bitter pill for the U.S. in a game that they thought they were going to get 3 points from. They had the lead even though they were man down. They lost their keeper, and they lost the game. Next up for the U.S., Monday in KC against Uruguay.
I'm the greatest.
The beats that move the culture. SiriusXM celebrates Black Music Month with Black Music Forever, a limited edition channel with hip-hop, R&B hits, and breaking music from Black artists. Black Music Forever, throughout the month in the SiriusXM app. SiriusXM.com/BMM for more info.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan.
Their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful even as they age.
I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. I've helped countless dogs thrive with one simple concept. Your dog needs a
a high-meat diet similar to what their ancestors ate in the wild.
Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend using 50 years of nutritional research and experience, helping dogs make incredible turnarounds. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Crispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/fox or text FOX to 511-511.
Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 9999 and get 15% off your first purchase with code 9999, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 9999 for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 9999 to save 15% today.
Have you ever wondered where your favorite restaurant finds its ingredients? Or who fits your club pro for their golf clubs?